Welcome to Ultimate Autographs. If you were looking for the internet's most exciting and interactive live break room, then you have come to the right place. We are opening live break mystery boxes featuring the biggest names from across the sports world every single day. If you're new to breaking with us, we can help break it down and make it as easy to understand as possible. First, head over to the live break page and look for a series that suits your interests. Most of our series will have 8 spots, which represent the 8 NFL divisions, but other sports breaks or mixers may vary. If you purchase one spot, that means you have a 1 in 8 chance to win that item at an extremely discounted rate. Next, click Add to Cart to purchase your live break spot. Once you've completed your checkout, tune into the next available Live Breaks broadcast on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube at noon, 3, or 6 p.m. Central Time any day of the week. As you watch, you will see your name appear on the screen when your specific break begins. Your name will go into the randomizer and will be randomized a specific amount of times based on that evening's dice roll number. Once randomization is over, the list of names of people that bought into that live break will be matched up with a specific division. If the item that is pulled from the mystery box matches your division, congratulations, you just won an incredible piece of signed memorabilia. Want to guarantee yourself an item as opposed to testing your luck? Some of the series that you see on the live break page can be purchased under the mystery box tab of our website. Those boxes could either be shipped directly to your door or open live on the air before being sent to you. While you are there, make sure to sign up for our Signature Points Club. This exclusive club earns you points toward specific discounts, signed items, or exclusive events each and every time you buy at ultimateautographs.com. The moment you have been waiting for has come. Let's break some signed memorabilia.
And welcome back yet again, 3 p.m. edition of the UA Break Room. Nick here. We got Alex on the ones and twos. How we doing, Alex?
All right, man. Ready for my third and final show of the day, Nick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been all smiles. It's been all good so far.
That's
today,
right.
This morning. Like I said, trying to wrap up this 4th of July break that we got here. Trying to get the diamonds all wrapped up as well. Dens pop in. What does the... why does it say the 9 a.m. break page? Oh, that's just our inventory. You just got to reset that. That's okay. It was just 9 a.m. set from earlier, but of course, obviously, it is 3 o'clock, so the times might not be accurate, but the breaks are still accurate in terms of what number it is, what series, single box, double box. So we're all good there. So all good. We'll clean that up in just a little bit. But obviously, guys and gals, let's clean up what we're doing here. Let's get the dice roll on the day. Let's get our chase wheel spin. So it's going to be a fantastic episode, little stream that we got here going on at 3 p.m. Like I said, guys, welcome in. Started off at 9 a.m. Started off pretty hot. Got some jerseys in, got some minis. 12 o'clock was looking pretty decent. Just all practice squad. So I'm going to kind of be up. It's going to be up for the wheel again to determine that chase wheel spin from my side of things. So kind of definitely different places we can go here. So yeah, let's do so. Let's make it enticing. Let's do the practice squad and the diamonds. How's that sound? Because the practice squad's been moving.
I like it.
Been moving pretty consistently, and like I said, I think the goal should definitely be still to get those diamonds, clear this set of diamonds on out, and get a fresh set of diamonds on in here. We're looking just to get Dwight Freeney a couple bonus bangers. That'll take care of those diamonds section. But obviously, like I mentioned, practice squad already getting some movement. It might be our closest break, as it was a double box was about 4 to go. Jersey also 4 to go. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's just go chase wheel spin. We're gonna make it the practice squad and the diamonds. So one chase wheel spin, but if you get a practice squad at double or single broken into, as well as a diamond, double, single, or quad, if we still have the quad up, then we'll go ahead and get that in there. So practice squad and diamonds. Gonna be the chase wheel spin on the day. So like I said, we'll make the executive decision right there to make that the chase. Like I said, that's the closest break on our break page. Otherwise, it might be actually, like I said, it might be tied with the single jerseys as of right now. But let's hop on over to the randomizer because we're gonna go ahead and see what our dice roll is. That's the only thing we can't really make an executive decision on. Got to roll that up Got to hand that up to random.org to determine a little 6 or higher. Let's see if we can get that. I pressed the dice roll. I don't want it to do it again. There we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Works for me. Works for me, my friend. So 8 times around here on the dice roll. Like I mentioned, making the executive decision for Practice Squad and the Diamonds to go ahead and beat our Chase Wheel Spin. Practice Squad because it is so far the closest of all of our breaks. Oh, actually, yeah, the jerseys are too. So that's pretty good. And then, like I mentioned, Diamonds, we want to go ahead and clear out those last 6 boxes, get a fresh set of Diamonds on in here. So make a nice little incentive, get you in there, get your name on the Chase Wheel Spin, an opportunity to get some cash back in your pocket. So there you have it, folks. So further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the break page.
Let's do it.
Let's take a look at the break page. We got some people trickling in here at the 3 o'clock hour. Like I mentioned, we were here earlier at 9. We were here at 12. We're here right now at 3. And we'll be back again at 6 with some fresh faces and hopefully some fresh breaks. Like I said, we're trying to clear out those Diamonds in section and everything else.
Nick, if you refresh your page too, you should start to see those say 3 p.m. So Den, thanks for catching that, but it's up to date.
Sure enough. Yep. We got it all changing to 3 p.m. So it should be all good there. Like I said, the time might be inaccurate sometimes, but always on point with what break is which and at what and what series it is. So all good there, folks. All good on the cosmetic side of things. Like I mentioned, let's go ahead and hop on in to the randomizer to go ahead and see what we're working with here on the UA break page this afternoon. Starting off in the jersey section, got a double and a single up right now. So go ahead and attack. Looking good there. Got about, let's see, should be about 20 so jerseys left here with 9 headliners on those in that jersey section. We're looking at Ray Lewis, Frank Gore, George Kittle, Hines Ward, Jordan Love, little MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew on the Jacksonville Jaguars threads. And then secondary hits include Roger Craig, Mike Singletary, and Clinton Portis, all to be found there in that jersey section. Like I said, went through some jerseys earlier today. We pulled that Debo. We pulled that Robert Mathis. Otherwise, we had some bonus hits, including Drew Pearson. So a lot of great options, a lot of great names you can be landing in that jersey section. One of our cheaper breaks, if not the cheapest break in the break room. So go ahead and hop on in there. Also, for that same reason, might be like an introductory thing. Might be starting off your whole collection. Might as well start off with exactly that. Something that's cheaper and a little less space to be taken up. However, like I mentioned, whole bunch of other series to hop into as well. All those jerseys right there. I got a double and a single up right now. Single is 3 to go or 40? Let's go. 3 to go. Nice. 3 to go in that single. Awesome. So that's looking good there. Hopping on into the 4th of July section. 4th of July is looking good. We got 6 headliners on 10 boxes. A 60% chance there in the 4th of July section. Also, 3 available spots for that $1,776 UA gift card. That'll be the same deal as we usually do for a Chase Wheel Spin. Everyone's name will be randomized, and whoever's up on top going to be the winner of that gift card. Still looking for that gift card spots as well as Bijan Robinson on that Atlanta Falcons lid, on that Atlanta Falcons Speed Flex. We got Aaron Donald on the Salute to Service Speed Flex. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown on the Detroit Lions Speed Flex. We've been itching to see that one. That's been the go-to there for sure. The Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Great one. The blue chrome. Got the silver to match with it. The silver to complement it on the face mask and the visor. Absolutely gorgeous piece right there. We can take a closer look, actually. Spinning around and around we go. It's a great, great helmet right there. Gorgeous. Nice and clean. You love the placement of the signature. Yeah, like I said, it's a change of pace from that sweet spot right there. So you can display it on the side. Nice one right there. Amon-Ra. Honestly, one of my favorite currently in the game at the wide receiver position. Alex went over his list of top 10 wide receivers so far, and obviously he cracked into the top 10 for fantasy next year. This is his predictions. He had him in his top 5 for sure. Hope we'll probably be previewing some QBs too. Got 20 people here across the board on our UA break page on our Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, making sure we're liking, sharing, subscribing, sending us around, making this break page grow and grow and grow so we can make the breaks go faster, faster, and faster each and every time. Over here in the shotgun vault, we got Dan Marino on this flash Miami Dolphins lid. Got a dual sign of 2 absolute legends in Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. These guys are always consistently headliners by themselves. So to be put on the same lid at the same time, you gotta love seeing that. Killing 2 stones with 1 bird. Am I right? How you doing? And then finally, Drew Brees on the Speed Flex on the bottom section below. And then also including on our secondary headliners, Hines Ward, Tony Dorsett, and Josh Jacobs. All available in that vault section. Also available, 3 vault keys still lurking in that vault section. They have a $200 vault key, a $100 vault key, and a $50 vault key. All still lurking. All ready to be handed out to you. So let's hop into that vault. Like I mentioned, the 6 headliners with 3 vault keys on 14 boxes in the vault section. Tons of different ways to get UA cash back in your pocket this go around. Between the Chase wheel spin. That's my gal chiming in actually with a little dinosaur. So how you doing, baby girl? A little dinosaur. Oh, that's fun. Get back to work, sweetheart. I'm just kidding.
You guys have a thing for dinosaurs? It's your couple animal?
No, not
Your spirit
exactly.
animal?
Well, it'd probably be the representation would probably be the tortoise because I'm very sloth-like, or I guess
That's
a
all right.
sloth.
Or tortoise-like.
Yeah, very slow to get up and get more moving with the day, but not getting slow over here in the practice squad section. As we're getting a couple names there, we got still looking for Alvin Kamara on the Speed Flex. This is Luke Kuechly, absolutely fantastic on the Lunar Authentic. And then finally, Deshaun Jackson and Fred Taylor as our secondary headliners in the practice squad. Practice squad, like we mentioned, in the Chase wheel spin, pretty close. We got 4 to go in that double box. 7 total boxes left in the practice squad with 4 headliners. So over 50% chance of landing a headliner in that practice squad section. Close that out. We'll go ahead and get a fresh practice squad, folks. Diamonds, like I mentioned, no pictured headliners, so we're just looking to clear out those last 6 boxes with Dwight Freeney included in there. So hopefully you can land in that AFC South section and land that Dwight Freeney. And let's see, the 1 and 4, we got to talk about that 1 and 4. Also got to get to the minis as well. So 1 and 4 up right now. Mark Messier on the New York Rangers licensed jersey. Staying in that northeast section in the Boston area, we're going to go ahead and have a Kevin Garnett Celtics jersey, also licensed jersey. Got the little Irish flag inside that shamrock. And on some lumber, we got Kyle Tucker on a Louisville Slugger. We got some secondary headliners, including his teammate, Dansby Swanson, chilling in this 1 and 4 as well. Also, Julius the Dr. Irvin. From one 76er to the other. Allen Iverson also available as well. And then Shane Doan, all in that 1 and 4 section. That's a nice one. Like we mentioned, 7 headliners on 10 boxes in that 1 and 4. 70% chance of hitting one of those bad boys. And then finally creeping up on the minis. 5 to go in a mini double right here. So hit that, folks. That'd be fantastic. We're looking at a slew of names. We got Jerome Bettis, Michael Irvin, Champ Bailey. Ripped chain not included with the Champ Bailey. Magic Johnson on a Washington Commanders lid again. Love how interesting that piece is. Not very often are you going to see that. You're going to see him on a ton of Lakers gear. Not going to see him very often on some Commanders lids. So how about it? Get in there for that Magic Johnson Commanders mini. Also including Alvin Kamara. If you're not like, hey, you know what? Maybe the speed flex. I see that over in the practice squad, sure, but I also see him over in the minis. So Alvin Kamara on the mini, Eric Dickerson, and then Sam Laporta, all pictured here. And lastly, that secondary headliners include Fred Taylor and Frank Gore, also in here as well. Fred Taylor, like we mentioned, also in the practice squad. Frank Gore, placed throughout, has a jersey in that jersey section. There's some good opportunities across the board to hit some big names. All the way around, folks. So 5 to go in the minis. I'm going to go ahead and grab the minis. Oh, I'll grab the minis link. So the minis are 5 to go. Let's go ahead and see what else is closed. What else is closed? Some worth a drop. Worth dropping down in the link. Like we mentioned, let's go ahead and hit that practice squad double. That's 4 to go. Matthew, if you got a question, let me know. We can definitely help you out. Oh, sorry. How do we get in these? Gotcha, right here. So if you follow the link down below, whatever ones that I'm placing, you go ahead and hit add to cart for whatever break you feel you want to go ahead and get into, and then go ahead and fill it out, and then that becomes your break spot, my man. So like we mentioned, with a single box left in the jerseys, there's three spots out of 8. If you hit that little add to cart, now you're gonna go ahead and go to your cart over here, and they can go ahead and hit the old checkout button and go ahead and fill up your information. And like I said, after you do all that, pay it out, then that becomes your spot, my man. We randomize, we get everyone into divisions. Whatever we pull out, if that matches your division, then you're the winner, my man. That's how this goes, Matthew. So hop on into a spot. If that didn't clarify anything else, let me know. I can try and do my best to change it up and to get some further instruction. But also if you're, again, any other confusion, I'll simply drop the regular old break page listing, and then you can go here as well. So this is kind of our overview of how the break room works, listed right here from top to bottom. It's got our rules in here as well. If you're just like, you know what, Nick, words, that's last year. No need to worry about that. That's old news. Let me watch this video, and that'll also help me out as well. So our live break explained right here in this video portion on the YouTube side of things as well. So all fun and games as well, all over here. 2 ways to guarantee yourself a dub. That is simply, like I mentioned, you see all these spots right here. You can buy them all out, all by your lonely. Get all of those 8 divisional spots, or 4 if you're in the 1 and 4. Or you click on the Buy Mystery Box tab, scroll on down, and you see these 3 different options for personal wins right here. So that means it's a guaranteed dub, or you're going to go home and go away with one of these. You'll be able to pick one of the listed numbers down below and be able to go home with one of the current jerseys that are in the training camp jersey section. So again, Ray Lewis, Frank Gore, George Kittle, Hines Ward, Jordan Love, MJD, Roger Craig, Mike Singletary, and Clinton Portis. All that would be available to you. Same thing with the mini section. All those same minis that we saw earlier, all available as mini personals. So a chance to maybe, like I said, have a stab at that Magic Johnson without any competition, like that opportunity. Then finally, there's also the college rep section. So these are all replica helmets, all from these main stars, alma maters of all obvious ways. So a couple of big names still left. We got AJ Green, Warren Moon, LaShawn McCoy, Jameson Williams, Tim Brown, Jordy Nelson, Michael Vick, Joe Theismann, and then secondary hits include Charles Haley. So looking good across the board, folks. Want to guarantee yourself a dub, guarantee yourself a win right here. Hop on into this Buy a Mystery Box section. Otherwise, if you want to join in on a live break, hit that Join a Live Break tab. You have all 7 of our current breaks up and ready to roll. So I was about to do that as well. Don't want to pepper you guys with too many links, but however, last one I'll share with you right now. Got the jerseys. This jersey single is 3 to go. So again, Matthew, if I wasn't clear enough, let me know. If anybody else has any questions, feel free, fire away. Otherwise, Matthew, same. I'll ask you. It seems like you're a new name here. What's your squad? Who's your individual player? Maybe who you're chasing after? How'd you hear about the UA Break page? How'd you hear about us? Got a couple different social media platforms, obviously. So
Let us know.
all fun and games. Exactly that. Point you in the right direction. 17 people across the board here on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Making sure we're getting involved, liking, sharing, subscribing. So what's the minimum number of slots needed to be drawing for it to proceed? So it needs to fill up all 8 spots that are available. So for the most part, mostly obviously football helmets, going by the 8 divisions. So that matches up there. So all 8 spots need to be filled up in order for us to go ahead and break into whatever break it is in for. So yeah, obviously if you're sitting there, it's only 5 to go, and it's 5 to go for a little bit. It's never gonna, we're not gonna kick it back to you. We will eventually break it. We just gotta play the long game type deal. But
That's right.
pretty consistent, like I said, pretty good turnover here. No one's usually lingering on any breaks for any too long. So if stuff gets posted, it's basically broken within the day. So love seeing that. Like I said, that's a shout out to you guys here on the UA Break page, the people that keep this moving, keep it rolling. We're basically just manning the ship, but you guys are pushing everything. You guys are putting the coal inside the engines, getting everything rolling. So where do we want to go, folks? Anywhere and everywhere. Like I mentioned, those closest ones were the 3 on the single jersey, 4 to go on a double box for the practice squad, and then 5 to go on the double box minis. So a couple different ways we can go, folks. No problem, Jeremy. Again, same thing to you. If you have any other questions, if I wasn't clear enough, let me know. Otherwise, same dealio. Any other further instruction is up top on the Join a Live Break page. Breaks down the room rules, breaks down everything that you'll see. Obviously, there's a disclaimer underneath every single break, so you guys know that you're just getting into a live draw. You're not guaranteeing yourself a win unless, like I mentioned, you get yourself a jersey personal, mini personal, rep personal, or buy out all the slots that are in that break. So like I said, it varies. Obviously, we have our 1 and 4 that has 4 spots. For the most part, it's going to be 8 to match the divisions. So looking good there, looking good across the board, folks. See how we're looking. I'm going to flip on over quickly to some MLB games that were going down. I got to check and see if I got to pray and pray. Hey, we're not out of the woods yet. Not out of the woods yet. We need 2 more outs in this Pirates and Mariners nerfy. So that'll be fun. You want to watch if they score, you want to watch a grown man cry? That'll happen live here in the UA Break page. I'm just kidding. Don't gamble anything you're not willing to lose, folks.
I don't want to see it.
1-800-GAMBLER. Don't gamble anything you're not willing to lose, folks. That's all I say all the time. Just to act, just for full on transparency. Like I only really play $3 to $5 plays, and it might be like that. Yeah, it's like if it's annoying to lose $10 in any way, so I don't want to risk it. Again, that's my preference, but it's maybe the egotistical thing in me where it's like I get more satisfaction out of just being right than actually winning the money, which probably is a little, like I said, a little crazy. And everyone else is kind of like, you're like, wow, what are you're insane. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of where my mindset is at. If I have the bragging rights and the receipt to show like, hey, I had Panthers money line at plus 250. You guys are dumb. Something like that. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't really do that. I like to wager small, win big.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So,
Wager small and then put it on maybe a plus like 1400 or something like that. Every now and again, it's always good. I'll it's not a guarantee, but you hit every now and again on like the first touchdown for somebody. That's usually pretty good money. That's like, again, that's always long odds for anybody. What's another good, like, put a good touchdown parlay is usually pretty decent. Just don't put up the chalky people. Don't put don't put Saquon and Derrick Henry together. You're still gonna get minus money.
Like a good basketball parlay, multiple players.
Gotcha.
Rebounds, threes made. It's always my.
I did enjoy betting basketball. I currently cannot now because I'm employed by the Windy City Bulls. So we went through the whole. Actually, kind of funny the gambling little course that you have to take, or the anti-gambling. They like what do's and don'ts, what you can and can't bet on anymore. It's kind of fun. It was really interesting. But yeah, when I could, my favorite thing to bet was live baskets, live made threes, and that was also really fun to do that at sports books. So you're live sitting there with other people and you're just cheering for a made basket and everyone's looking at you like, so do you have this? Do you got the Lakers? You got the who do you got? Who are you cheering for? I'm like, we just need threes, baby. We're just banking on threes. Right. It's always plus money for a 3-pointer. I don't know if they even do that anymore. Live baskets. That was also the fun one for baseball. Live first pitches, ball strike in play. Those are fun. Those are greasy.
I think what's gonna stay hot, guys?
Yeah.
What is gonna stay hot? Jerseys.
I was banking on those practice squad. Otherwise, yeah, the jersey's looking good. Pretty good all the way across the board, folks.
All the way across the board, we pretty wide open, man.
Yeah. See some sixes and the ones that was all 6s and 7s, mate. Yeah, I got some 6s and 7s. 2 to go in those jerseys. 2 to go in the jerseys now. That'll be fun. Get into some new threads.
That's right.
Still 2 to go in the jersey. Still 5 to go in those minis. 4 to go across the board on those 1 and 4s, double box. For that practice squad is still at 4 as well. So it looks like that jersey single might be the first one we get into, folks. That'd be fun. Like I mentioned, we're looking for that Ray Lewis, the Frank Gore, the George Kittle, Hines Ward, Jordan Love, Maurice Jones-Drew. And then secondary headliners include Roger Craig, Mike Singletary, and Clinton Portis. Another big thing over the week, I don't know if you saw that the hot dog eating contest. Speaking of betting. I didn't bet it on myself, but it would have pushed anyways, which I know we're talking hot dogs, but seems a little fishy to me that Joey Chestnut pushes on 70 and a half hot dogs. Oh my God. My stomach that's
ridiculous.
Yeah, my stomach just hurts thinking about that. Take your $9.99 and I raise you. Have you ever done the 9.9? Have you tried the 9.99 challenge at a baseball game? No.
No.
9 hot dogs, 9 beers, 9 innings.
Holy smoke!
Are you just hearing about this?
Yes.
Really? Oh, that was a kind of a pretty popular thing online.
That sounds like gluttony to me.
A little bit.
on a Sabbath day like today.
Yeah. People were like, that's again kind of a popular thing coming up on the internet.
9 hot dogs. Good golly.
They try and get it in at least one an inning for some people, but
now,
with the pitch clock, it's a little tougher now.
I may have already mistakenly achieved the 9 beers in 9 innings.
That could have happened.
Could have been like 3 beers in 1 inning and then no beers another. I made up for it in others.
Yeah. Water finds its balance.
We all been there,
Yeah, the 999 challenge. Where some people, again, were going to the games. And I can only imagine trying to do that at like Wrigley. 9 beers at Wrigley. That's already going to set you back like $300. Then 9 hot dogs, probably another 200. So it's a really expensive challenge for some. If you don't have the internet following back to back you up, it's probably not worth it. So,
Right.
So that's more of an at-home activity for me. I'll do 9 innings, 9 hot dogs, and 9 beers at home. No need to hop on the public transportation after that. Nice, I'm already on my couch. Holding off for that. Nerfy, come on now. White Sox are up 3-2, though. That's nice. Do it for Bobby. Swipe these Rockies for Bobby. Chase Mydroff with an RBI double. Benintendi hits a sac fly. And Mike Tauchman, the talk of the town, Mike Tauchman. Palatine Pounder. So I'm going to refresh and see where we're at. Still 2 to go on those jerseys, folks. Let's get some more threads up in the building. Those are nice. I wonder, I'll throw this out to you guys and you as well, Alex. Just I know we have our weekly meetings, our idea meetings. I'll kind of just throw it out to you guys and see if it's just worth it. Would you guys be interested in all maybe a college jersey roll? I don't know if they've done it before, but
Yeah.
I mean, I figured similar to sometimes the college drops that we usually just straight up have, or currently the college rep series that we have up. I would just think that if you're collecting one individual, why wouldn't you want, kind of just exactly what you see in the practice squad already. Like, why wouldn't you want an LSU Jamar Chase or an LSU Justin Jefferson or an LSU Joe Burrow? Something like that. I don't know. It seems pretty solid to me. But again, like it could be again, college, sometimes it's a little niche.
We've been hit or miss with the college helmets, but maybe the college jerseys those would do better,
we've
so
seen
hit or
some-
miss with the helmets.
Yeah, I've seen some really awesome college jerseys.
Oh, for sure. Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah. Chris said he's down. Chris said he's down for some college. That'd be cool. That'd be fun. I'll throw that. Like I said, I'll throw that up to the big bosses, to the big honchos, see if they want to potentially roll with that. I throw out the ideas, and that's kind of where it's like that kind of where it stops. So I'm sure there's money that's involved can probably play a difference there. The demand to find these jerseys might be a little tougher than actually just finding the professional ones. But again, I just think it would be pretty cool. A little change of pace, switching it up from the regular professional jerseys that we see. We'll switch it up, maybe do a little college jersey series. I think that would be kind of cool. But we'll see how it goes. And again, everyone they'll run the numbers. They'll run the numbers and make sure it would make sense. But I think that would be cool. I mean, you walk away with some Florida gear, maybe like a Tim Tebow signed Florida Gators jersey. Maybe, like I said, we can go old school with it if we want to. I know we have a lot of people are Miami, University of Miami.
Cool if we did a all Hall of Fame series,
That'd be nice too. Yeah.
and like we could include guys that we know are going to be like Tom Brady, not necessarily in the Hall of Fame yet, but we know are going to be.
Yeah, exactly. We know. I was saying that same thing like Aaron Donald. I'm saying that earlier. Like
Zach
he's
Martin.
he's going to be in the Hall. Zach Martin. We pulled his jersey earlier to the 9 a.m. show.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying this because a Lions fan. I could see Frank Ragnow as a center. I know centers are not a highly sought after Hall of Fame position, but like the guy had a outstanding career for his entire career for the Lions. So
I don't know what numbers necessarily look at for
O lineman.
other than
I don't
like
either.
sacks not given up or whatever, sacks prevented.
Pancakes.
Yeah, pancake blocks.
But
Yeah,
like I don't even know if that's quite a feat anymore because passing is I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I think we might have
So
a jersey break to do here.
That'd be fantastic. Let me refresh and
maybe
hopefully
one.
see my favorite thing. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. The red sold out sign is my favorite thing. Gotta highlight it. Gotta show you because this is
Mike
what we want to see every
Abdallah.
single time.
Closing it out.
I'm sorry. Who closed it out?
Mike Abdallah.
There we go. That a boy Mike getting some closer magic there. So let's hit it. Jersey single number 4. Please drop a box number. Preferably if you are in said break, obviously, totes my goats. That is going to be the goal there. Drop me a box number. Otherwise, also the wheel is potentially up there. So an option to call for the wheel. Jersey should be scrolling along the bottom, coming up right about now. Jerseys are popping up. Let's see. You got 1, 2, 4 through 6, 8 through 10, 13 through 15, 19 through 22, 24, 26, 28, and 29. All available in the jersey section. So if you got anyone, like I mentioned, want to drop that down below between Timothy, Charlie, Dennis, or Mike. Oh, you're not getting me on that one, Mike O. That was a close one. Mike O and Mike Abdallah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Say that one out loud in your head. Not getting me. No.
I gotta see what this says.
We got a couple of Bart Simpsons here in the group chat today.
That's gotta be Ronnie.
Oh man. You gotta love it.
Ronnie and Sulaco.
Den says the wheel. We're gonna go ahead and hit you with the wheel.
Mike. You guys can say that for yourselves at home.
Exactly.
See it on our screen there.
So let's hit the wheel really quick.
Oh, what a clever guy.
I know. We had that not too long ago. Probably like maybe a couple weeks before you got started here. There was like I said, a big old slew of everybody coming up with names like that. You gotta love it. So we're hitting the wheel per our man Dennis. Going around town, see what we land on for these jerseys. Number 14. See if we're hitting 14 or if we have to do a wheel. No, we're good. We have 14. Awesome possum. Oh, number 14 coming off the board. Let's take everyone's name.
I'll grab it here.
And we're going to go around, I believe we're at 8 times. Yes, 8 times. Sorry, I just want to make sure. Eight times around here. All good to go.
14, box 14, you said?
Box 14, yes. And while you got that, we got Mike A in the NFC North. I got Mike O, thank you very much, in the NFC South. Timothy, you are in the NFC East. Charlie, you are in the NFC West. Dennis, our wheel caller, turned into our box caller. You are in the AFC North. Mike, back to you in the AFC South. And then Timmy rounding us out in the AFC East and AFC West. Excuse me, Mr. Smith. Senior. We'll be back in just a moment, though. Box number 14. Ready to roll. Good luck, everybody. As I mentioned, we're looking for Ray Lewis, Frank Gore, George Kittle, Hines Ward, Jordan Love, MJD, Roger Craig, Mike Singletary, or Clinton Portis. Good luck, everybody. Ooh. Again, I've been talking. This probably might be my. I've been talking it up. I like this design. I like this style. I hope they're gonna keep pulling this one out throughout the season. And an absolute dog. And we talked about fantasy earlier. How about this guy for fantasy? MJD on the Jaguars threads. Reese Jones-Drew. Big bang right there. Big hit right there. It's one of our headliners in the AFC South. So let's go into Mike Abdallah on that one. Our closer, a little closer magic on that one. Congrats. Like I said, on my favorite right now, this throwback / new school, just because they're bringing it back. These new threads, love this. This just kind of screams 90s to me.
Yeah.
Screams it.
What a great player, too.
Oh, yeah.
Undersized running back. Didn't play like that, though. Guy was a stud.
So like a beefy muscle hamster, like,
Yeah.
like a bowling ball with legs.
Literally.
Beckett cert on the bottom on that number 2 right there. You got the, like I said, with right next to it, just below his signature, right above it. Fantastic hit. Like I said, one of my favorites. Currently, this jersey that we got going on here. Love these. Love this color. Love this color scheme right there
Oh, for sure.
for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Little Duval action. Wasn't there for a game, but was down there at M&T Bank Stadium. I think that's what it was.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's a bank stadium.
They
but
know down there.
yeah, it's really nice. Really nice over there. Like I said, would have been cool for a game, but I was there for a wrestling show instead. Just can't go
That's
wrong.
cool. Florida's cool, man. There's
Oh,
like
yeah.
we were talking about the weather. It is sometimes the heat is unbearable, but there's a lot to do in Florida.
Without a doubt.
Tampa is a fun city too. Never really been to Jacksonville. I can't say. But
Yeah,
Tampa is fun.
Jacksonville, not too much to do. Like I said, we were only there for the wrestling show, so we were going there to the Daly's Place. That's what the other section of it is called. Going there to the Daly's Place, and then we kind of walk and just be not really much to do outside your hotel room, at least in the area we were at. Actually, no, I lied. We would walk by. We walk by some clubs, so there is like a nightlife over there, but that was just not really our cup of tea. Me and my buddies that went that one time, so it's all right.
So we had a little action in the 4th of July. Somebody bought into the double.
Nice.
I'm surprised there is actually a spot taken in the quad as well. So that's not going to last much longer. But, we have 3 remaining pictured headliners. All 3 of our speed flexes. Aaron Donald, Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably my favorite helmet in the room, and Bijan Robinson, as well as Dwight Freeney, Ricky Williams, and Tony Dorsett. That 4th of July series is packed with speed flexes, hidden gems, so you never know what's going to come out of there if you're not necessarily chasing one of those guys. And
Still
the
3
diamonds,
spots for that gift card too.
right. And that's not just a
It's nothing to
ho
sneeze
hum
at.
gift card. That's $1,776, bro.
That's not your grandmother going, "Here's a 20. Go buy yourself something nice." No, that's
That's your founding father's
that's a big
gift card right there.
yeah, that's a
baby.
big one right there.
And then, did you make diamonds, Chase? I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
missed
the diamonds are the chase as well. We only got 6 left, so might as well.
one remaining headliner, Dwight Freeney. Nothing to sleep on there, but as soon as that is gone, we have a new diamonds that's hurting to come in the room. So how many remaining boxes do we have there?
In the diamonds.
6
Yeah, 6
remaining
in the
boxes.
diamonds.
Could do a quad, a double, a few singles, knock that out, and then we have a new fresh diamonds, hot on the press, ready to be posted, or cold on the press, not hot off the press. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
All authentics are better in that diamond section.
Yep. So
Hop on in. Very much worth
Mr.
it.
Oxlong, maybe you're listening. Maybe you want to get in there. Mr. Oxlong. Sorry you didn't win that last break, bud.
You and Mike Roch better
Mr. Roch.
Yeah.
Yes. Forget about him. Or Mr. Hawk.
yeah. Yeah.
Mike.
All those mics hang out together.
I almost, when I saw that name that day, I almost made a joke like, "Oh, is this AJ Hawk's brother?" Right,
Zoom right over there.
right over my head. I said his name too. Ronnie probably got a good kick out of that.
That's good. I mean, I'm sure Amanda Hug and Kiss will be in here as well sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we all need sometimes. We just need Amanda Hug and Kiss.
I need a bath.
Yeah. Oh, there's just so many. I just can't. Like I said, it's the only thing I think. I just think Bart Simpson calling Mo Sizlak, and that's what you guys decided to do. You guys turned on FXX and just watched all the Simpsons back to back to back. Picked your favorite. All you little pranksters.
Okay.
But who wants to get involved? Who wants to get Phil McCrevis is a good one.
Phil McCrevis. Who said that? Oh, Phil McCrevis. Yes.
Oh,
Mr.
man, that's a great
McCrevis.
one. Oh,
Mr. McCrevis.
oh, my Lord.
He's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Phil McCrevis.
Fantastic. See exactly that, folks. It's the creativity from you guys that gets us going. They tied it up. Hey, but we got out of the Pirates and Mariners unscathed. There we go. That's a nerfy. That's a cash. Bang bang. Heck yeah. Mike says that was his first time buying a spot too. There we go.
There you go, Mike.
Getting yourself a dub. Mike, what's your squad? What's your team? What's your individual player? Who you chasing after? Let us know. Let us know how you also found the break room, my man. Couple different ways, obviously. We got our social media platforms we're plugging it. We're currently streaming on. And, of course, over on Instagram and TikTok. Michael says, go Bills. So there we go. Always be on the lookout for our man Josh Allen. He's usually in here pretty consistently. Always on the Bills logo, always on the Bills helmets, but also from time to time you see him on that Wyoming lid too. So always be on the lookout. Josh Allen pretty in here pretty consistently. So has been our man Keon Coleman. Has been pretty consistent as well. Khalil Shakir's been in here. James Cook pulled that a couple days ago. We just talked about him earlier with in the mini section. Also just the fantasy talk that we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Speaking of, we can, if you want, we can.
Yeah, man.
Maybe
I
get
got
to your
defenses and QBs ready to go.
Ooh, let's talk a little QB action.
Yeah. So, this is probably the hardest list to put together because I feel like so many of these guys that aren't listed, look, I 100% could have included them. So please do not be offended if your quarterback is not listed because they could have just as easily been put on here in replace of somebody else.
Mike, I'm sorry, I hate to cut you off.
I
Mike,
saw
if
that
that's
word
true,
pop up and I almost read it.
if that's true, my man, that's hilarious. I give you a lot of props.
Mike, if that's true, dude, we need you to come in here and do live breaks. You'd be like the celebrity
that's
breaker.
crazy.
That's awesome.
Would you try and get that signed by Tom and go to Fanatics Fest?
He's probably got it on his mantle. Oh, it's right behind me, over my
Oh
shoulder.
my goodness, yeah, that's hilarious. Go ahead, Alex. I got you with your fantasy list.
Alex Neatling's top 10 fantasy quarterback predictions for 2025 are as follows. And I try to take into consideration guys that scramble and are going to score touchdowns on the ground too, because I feel like that's huge.
Yeah.
Even with that said, I put Joe Burrow as number one.
Really? Okay.
I think Joe Burrow is one of the people, he's always mentioned, but he's still underrated in terms of, like when you talk top guys, Patrick Mahomes is always up there. You hear Josh Allen's name too. They're up there. But Joe Burrow, since coming on the scene, man, has been consistently great. His numbers last year, he finished, if I'm not mistaken, number one in passing overall last year.
Yeah.
I could see him continuing with that.
Scoring all the time. It's just their defense couldn't help him this slightest
Don't
bit.
sleep on his legs either, man. Like he's still quick. He can still make things and happen.
He did
on the
have that
ground
40-yard run for a touchdown last season, so
exactly. So
it can be done.
he can in quarterback sneaks. Those counts as touchdowns. Those count as fantasy points.
Now, are you 6 points for a touchdown for QBs or just 4?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
That's a great question.
because that might not necessarily change your QB ranking, but that does affect the way I draft QBs in the sense that I'm still going to go position players that can get me 6 points as opposed to, the QB that might only give me 4 for a touchdown.
For sure. And then for number 2, I put Lamar Jackson. I think he could be number one.
Mike, I don't think I'm going to Google that.
Was the pipe. Oh, dear.
I will look up Mike Abdallah Bills. I don't know if I'm going to use that that search bar.
Right. Oh, God. Goodness, this is becoming a nightlight chat over here.
It is. It's slowly turned into UA After Dark here at the 3 p.m. hour.
But number 2, I put Lamar Jackson. I feel like he could easily be a number 1, 2, and he could be number 3 behind my next guy, Josh Allen, who I
Okay,
put at
there
number
we
3.
go.
I saw Josh Allen play live last year against the Lions, and athletically, I got to see Justin Fields play. I've seen Aiden Hutchinson play, obviously, in the Bills, but I saw him play against Justin Fields, and those two guys to get against each other, that was crazy athleticism. But Josh Allen, hands down, just one of the most the freakish athletes I've ever seen. Right, like he did it all. Every time I thought he was going to be sacked or the Lions would stop him, he made something happen. That was a great game to be at.
Great. I was about to say, very
Sold out
jealous thinking
crowd,
about that.
dude. And the Lions lost, but I mean, if there's a loss you want to be at, it's a game like that. Goff threw for like 500 or 5 touchdowns. It was insane, and they still lost the game.
It wasn't. I hate that phrase, but that was if there ever was one, that was a good loss.
Gibbs
suppose.
fumbled early in the game as they were going to score. Like some guy just made a great. You can't even blame Gibbs. The guy made a great defensive play, and he didn't see it coming and just ball popped out. If that didn't happen. And that onside kick, as we talked about before, didn't happen.
Yeah.
Things might bounce a couple different ways for the Lions. Doesn't matter in the long run because they lost to Jaden Daniels, who I have on this list right behind Josh Allen.
Okay.
Dude, he could be number 1. I think that his sky is the limit for him. We just saw him last year, 1 season in the NFL. Sky's the limit, right? I think it was Dom the other day said, was citing some online source, but basically his ceiling is Lamar Jackson and his floor at this moment is who did he say? Gosh, it was somebody like that you wouldn't be upset if that's as good as he was going to be. You're like, all right, that ain't bad, right?
Okay.
So Jaden Daniels has nothing but potential in front of him. CJ Stroud, I put right behind him at number 5.
Okay.
CJ Stroud,
Honestly, funny enough, I was going to put them in the same breath because you sophomore season for CJ Stroud wasn't the best, so I would my only inkling for Jaden Daniels is does he make that sophomore slump type deal, but not on track for that if we're thinking about it. But yes, go ahead, keep going.
And yeah, if you even call what CJ had last year a slump compared to his first year, maybe, but
I think that was the comparison. That's probably why everyone was saying that.
He kept Houston winning. Joe Mixon I think was hurt on and off last year too, so he didn't have much of a run game to count on either, or at least
Zach
a running
Moss,
back.
baby.
But he's a stud. CJ Stroud is a stud. I was skeptical about him coming out of college, and he's proved me wrong. So I thought for sure Bryce Young was going to be the better of the draft picks, and because both those guys came out of the same draft, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna let you get to it, but that could be an honorable mention for me, Bryce
Young. I wanted so badly to put it on this list, and I didn't even put him as a sleeper, but he could.
I don't think I'm confident enough to put him at even at top 10, but sleeper for probably gonna have some decent games.
He started to figure it out towards the end of the year, right? But
gave him a couple more
there's always
weapons.
a lot of question marks with him and his team.
Gave him a couple more weapons this
Number
year.
6, number 6, I feel like could be in the top 5 too. Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah, yeah, big time.
Finished number 3 overall in passing last year. Nobody saw that coming. I don't think anybody saw him when he signed that contract with the Bucs. I think everybody kind of just envisioned him as like a bridge quarterback type.
Yeah.
Look at what he's done there, and he's a winner wherever he goes. It could be argued that the Browns were better off with him.
Oh,
at the reins. I mean,
that still boggles my mind.
That's true.
Cleveland, they see 0-0 like no playoff success ever. Baker comes in, gives them that, plays the next season completely hurt, and then it gets blamed for all things that were wrong, and then gets shipped out.
Yeah,
one of the dumbest franchises, just straight up with that. Like that's just idiotic.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if you saw that too. It was one of the best radio calls all season long. Happened like week 1 or week 2 this year. Some guy calls into the Cleveland radio station. He goes, I'm going to tell you some numbers. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You might already know what they are, but after I tell you. So he blindly lists off all of Deshaun Watson's numbers, and then he compares it to Baker Mayfield's numbers. And the Cleveland radio host freaks out because he goes, I'm not doing this. Not the first call. I'm not doing this. We're not comparing this.
Right.
He's just so sick of the Deshaun Watson stuff.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield does not get enough love. He was a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. So, Jared Goff, I put as number 7. You know, JG, unfortunately, will, at least in my eyes and from a lot of Detroit fans, I think he's always kind of in the hot seat role. You know, like the Lions, the fan base have high expectations now after the last couple of years, right? And JG is kind of in this weird spot where, look, he's not a scrambling quarterback. He's really a one-dimensional guy where he can throw and move around the pocket. That's about it. But and I love JG. Don't get me wrong. He's a great quarterback. He's not as dynamic as obviously as Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, even as in Caleb Williams, even. You know, like I just want to see plays extended more, and I do often wonder like how some of those games where the Lions ended up losing, or the end of, you know, this last year with the Washington, how things would have looked a little bit different for them if they had a quarterback that could extend plays a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
So I do think Jared Goff will always kind of be in this make or break situation in Detroit, whether management and Dan Campbell are willing to admit it or not. Caleb Williams, I put at number 8.
What?
If I'm going to say Jaden Daniels is going to be in the top 10, and we were just talking about stat comparisons, why would I not include Caleb Williams? He's got a new offensive coordinator that is probably the hottest, or I'm sorry, new head coach that was the hottest offensive coordinator in the league last year, in the last couple of years. That doesn't mean they're going to have the same success or he's going to have the same success, but we'll see. And I think Caleb Williams, man, he's got DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, who's a pass catcher out of the backfield. Now you have Colston Loveland, and Cole Kmet is your secondary tight end, right?
Yeah.
I like, dude.
Luther Burden also going to be a nice, maybe hopefully a nice little rookie.
You have so many options around you. And Caleb, you look at your numbers, bro. They're right there with Jaden Daniels last year. Come on. And that leads me to my next guy, my next sophomore, Bo Nix.
Oh, I think
I was most shocked by his performance last year. And we see his name come through the break room often, and I'm glad because he impressed me. There's some throws he made last year, middle of the field, tight coverage, where I was like, he's a pro quarterback. Drake May, too. I did not include him on the list, but I think last year's class of quarterbacks was very impressive.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, from top to bottom, for sure. I think I like Drake May for an honorable mention. I think down the line, he could be pretty decent. And then overall, yeah, just very solid, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, I put at number 10. I think he could be in the top 5. We've seen him in the top 5 fantasy quarterbacks. His numbers have significantly fell off over the last couple of years in terms of like passing and the amount of passes, but they're doing different things in Kansas City. They have different weapons. He is still winning ball games, and in his eyes, that's all that matters. So, you know, we're talking fantasy quarterbacks here. We're not talking like greatest quarterbacks currently, right? So Patrick Mahomes, I'm putting as number 10 fantasy quarterbacks. Sleepers, completely, and I found this a little, you know, Geno Smith I kept out. He was in the top passers last year, but he's got a new team, a new situation. We don't know what that's going to look like for him. Tua and Jordan Love, you know, Tua, the guy, did he throw for 5,000 yards or damn near?
Something like
recently?
that, yeah.
And with that the offensive mind McDaniels or whatever that guy's name is, we were talking about it earlier. He can do it all. It's just a matter of if he can keep his head healthy. And then Jordan Love, I think he surprised me a lot last year. Jalen Hurts, I was shocked that I didn't have on this list. But dude, he wasn't like a fantasy. He had great numbers last year, but he just threw for just over 3,000 yards last year. There's plenty of other guys putting up bigger numbers than he is. So he'll continue to win games like Mahomes. Just fantasy-wise, I don't think he's the guy you want to
I think he was hurt and he was dealing with an injury that he wasn't making public. So, and you could kind of see that watching film with Hurts, where Hurts of old would have ran through a tackle, where last year you saw him go down a lot right before contact even happened. So maybe that was their idea of like, hey, let's just make sure you're like healthy all season long, or at least a majority of the season, which he was. He only had that one game where he left and Kenny Pickett had to come in and try and save the day. I don't even remember if they won the game or not. But I think they probably lost that one. I think that was against Washington.
But it pains me to leave guys like Justin Herbert off the list.
Yeah,
Or-
wow, yeah.
I mean, even Geno Smith, I put him as a sleeper, but I really wanted to put him in the top 10. It's just, I think there's a lot of uncertainties with it, where he's going to be with him. You know, he came out of nowhere when he was with Seattle. Nobody saw, not this past season, but the season before, right? Was it where he would just came back onto the scene like, hey, is this the old West Virginia Geno Smith? Is that where he played in college, if I'm not mistaken? West Virginia?
Let me see. Let me pull that up.
Pretty sure it is.
West Virginia, yep.
Yeah, he was like with Darius Slayton. Or no, was that Pat White? Was it Pat White and Darius Slayton? I can't remember. But either way, Geno Smith, hell of a college quarterback.
Did you have Lamar on there? Did you say?
I did. I put him
Okay.
as my number 2.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think you definitely said
He's
that earlier.
always, you know, him and Josh Allen have consistently been my top picks at quarterback the last couple years.
I mean, it's the running threat, the cannons for arms that they both have. Like it's
What I would urge most to wait to get a quarterback in fantasy.
yes.
You know, like, you know, Jared Goff, guys like Jared Goff, they're going to be around late. Baker Mayfield is going to be around. Bo Nix is probably going to be around. So you don't have to jump out and, you know, I tried to dabble with a couple different things last year because I was in multiple leagues. I think I jumped in one of my leagues and got Patrick Mahomes early, thinking like, oh, he's going to put up his crazy Mahomes numbers. And that ended up backfiring big time.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it could definitely play out when, you know, Josh Allen, a guy like him, if you take him in like the 4th or 5th round, that could still play out and do very well for you.
Right.
But otherwise, you know, waiting for a guy like Baker in the 10th, 11th round isn't the worst case scenario for all the reasons we kind of said earlier. Like, is the what's the scoring? Is the QB's pass touchdown 6 points or is it 4? And even just simplistically, like, you can only play one quarterback. You have to fill up. At least in my league, if we have 2 RB spots, 2 wide receiver spots, and 2 flex spots. So my mind is like, I need to get 8 position guys before I even think about getting a quarterback.
Yep.
Henry says, question, guys. Yeah,
What's up?
fire away. Let us know what's your question there, Henry. Let us know anybody else's question because let's see if we're close on too.
if you guys have any comments on my
Yeah.
top 10 or sleepers, feel free.
Yeah, chime in down below, fam. We got we're always ready to talk fantasy.
I think when we get to the defenses, that will cause the most controversy just because we're talking multi-players, right? And
yeah.
everybody's really passionate about their teams. But that
Let's
was
see.
another really hard list.
Yeah. So Henry asks, what's my best break to get into for an Eagles fan at the moment? Let's see. Do we have any Eagles headliners at the moment? I'm trying to look around. We got obviously bonus bangers hidden throughout.
Deshaun
so
Jackson in the
yeah.
special teams practice squad.
Potential shot at landing maybe Deshaun Jackson. He could be on Eagles, some Eagles gear in that practice squad. But again, obviously him playing a couple different teams.
Yeah,
Some
and-
potential there, but
Not necessarily Eagles at the moment. We have Saquon often.
yeah.
He just is not because we're getting down to the last few boxes in a lot of these series. But the 1 and 4 also has Allen Iverson. If you're an Eagles fan, maybe you're a 76ers fan.
Yeah, still in that Philadelphia realm.
Allen Iverson is there as a secondary headliner. Is he on a Funko in that, or is he on a ball, or do we know?
Not entirely sure.
We don't
Not
know.
entirely sure.
My dining room
Obviously-
is filled with boxes from you
Yeah.
guys. Well, that's good to hear, Henry.
There we go.
Keep it up.
Dining room is
Sounds
filled.
like you have space for maybe one more
I was about
box.
to say maybe let's fill up the basement. Let's fill up the kitchen. Let's go full. Let's go full to go.
If you're an Eagles fan, though, Henry, you'll be happy to hear my defenses. I'll quickly run through these top 10 defenses for fantasy because this could go anyway, man. And defense is so hard to predict in fantasy every year. I went Eagles number 1. On defense, they're scary. You got guys like Cooper DeJean, Blankenship. That D line is nasty. Those linebackers are nasty. Everybody on that defense is a playmaker always, right? Like their draft, they might as well just go to Georgia and say, hey, do you want to come play in the pros when you're done with Georgia? Because that's all they're drafting is Georgia Bulldogs.
Bulldogs just turn into Eagles somehow.
But when you're playing in a unit like that and you know each other and you've had this nothing
Brotherhood.
but chemistry. So there's something scary about that Eagles defense, which is also why I put my boys at number 2. the Lions, okay? If you go through individual defensive stats from last year, Brian Branch is in your leaders in solo and combination tackles. Kirby Joseph led the league in interceptions with 9 last year. There are individuals from the Lions defense scattered across those defensive stats. The Detroit Lions are scary, right? They have Terrion Arnold coming back on as a sophomore in their secondary. They have Enos Rakestraw, who we didn't even really get to see last year, who was a draft pick. Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are arguably the best safety duo in the league. Have you seen Brian Branch play or paid attention to him, Nick?
A little bit.
Lions are scary, Henry.
Yeah.
And Brian Branch, I'm telling you, this year, Nick, pay close attention to him. Last year, he's a savage. That guy's just Johnny on the spot. Every play on defense, Brian Branch is there. He's got this little green, mouth guard that he must wear. Is like it's got to be,
Like it's good luck charm.
luck charm or something. But it just sticks out of his helmet. It's kind of funny.
Oh, is okay. That's okay. Yeah, that is
Yes.
him. Okay.
But he's just everywhere, dude, and plays with a high motor. Plus, Aiden Hutchinson coming back, and ACL, and he had that massive leg injury. But we've seen like J.J. Watt, the Watts in general, Bosa's even have struggled with ACL leg injuries, and they come back better than ever. So I do anticipate. They also had a first round interior defensive lineman picked. I anticipate they will continue with that production this year.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, I put as number 3. Right?
Gotcha.
They just got Jalen Ramsey on that deal, correct? Am I mistaken here? Didn't they just trade for Jalen Ramsey?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, you add him to the secondary. You have J.J. Watt. Okay, I'm sorry, not J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt. You get my J's mixed up. Then you have, everybody on that defense is so scary, and they're a playmaking defense. T.J. Watt last year proved that he is an absolute game wrecker. So don't ever sleep on those pass rushers that can completely change a game.
And Henry says the Eagles were trying to trade for Watt. That's scary.
If that happens,
That'd been horrifying.
take Pittsburgh off that list.
I
But
mean,
he changes that.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
Joey
a fact.
Bosa went to the Bills, so I think that should probably help him out there. This might be.
So I put Buffalo as a sleeper. I'm
Okay.
glad that you said that because
Fair
I think
enough.
that's going to be.
And I think that's good because, well, also their
They
division's
just
pretty.
gave up a lot of points last year to
Yeah.
Buffalo. Yeah,
Their defense is pretty, or excuse me, their division is pretty lax. Like I think they're gonna do pretty well against at least the Patriots and the Jets.
if you pay attention to Buffalo's games too, the majority, and I at least the ones that I've watched, it seems like the fair share, high scoring, high adrenaline, and Bills defense. It's like where are you guys going to show up today? So like the names are there.
Yeah,
It's just who's going to show up on the Bills on that side of the ball for the Bills?
very true.
I put Texans as number 4.
Okay.
This is going to come as a shocker. There's this guy named C.J. Gardner-Johnson who spent 1 year with the Lions and he was hurt the entire year. And that was the year that they made it to the NFC Championship, lost to the 49ers. They lost it for themselves. The year before that, he was with Philadelphia and he led the league in interceptions. Okay. He was not far. He was in the leaders in interceptions last year with the Eagles, and the Texans just acquired him in the offseason. So call me crazy, but something about that guy, he's kind of like this X factor for defenses,
Yeah.
right?
He's a little bit of a ball hawk.
He is a ball hawk. So in the Texans defense last year was very scary. They finished in the top 15 in terms of defense overall. So I could see them making a splash defensively.
Yeah.
That was more of my bold pick. Baltimore, though, that's my number 5 pick. They're a safe defensive team. They were number 9 last year. Philadelphia, why did I put them on? I think I meant to put Buffalo there. That's what I meant to put. Buffalo was my number 6. But again, for them to be in the top 5, I want to see less points given up, right?
Yeah.
So that's a huge factor. Here's another bold pick for you. Chicago at my number 7.
There we go. That's Henry's pick. Henry says the Bears are my sleeper team this year.
Yeah, me too, man. And I don't want to say I hate the Bears, but I'm a Lions fan.
Yeah.
Dude, they're scared. Something about them this year just makes me a little worried.
The NFC North and maybe even the NFC West is going to be such a tough division. It's going to be
NFC North is going to be wicked this year.
Henry says, I live 4 miles from Baltimore Stadium. Yeah, it's gonna be wicked. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm kind of worried about the Lions this year, man. You know, like defensively, they're going to be great. Ben Johnson brought that, like, you can't really predict them from week to week. I don't know really what the new offensive coordinator, he's from. Pretty sure he's from Jacksonville.
New court, the OC?
The Lions.
Yeah,
OC.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds,
He could be
sounds
great.
about right.
They seem to like him, but Dan Campbell is a great coach. But I don't know where they're going to finish with such a great division this year. So
Jersey Slime on the Giants says, I like my pass rushers, Kayvon Thibodeau,
nobody
Brian
takes
Burns,
the Bears seriously,
Abdul
and
Carter.
they should, Henry. So me and you are together. They're my sleeper team, and I actually picked my hot take a while back was that Caleb Williams for MVP. I think that
Fun.
I'm not saying it's
So?
going to happen, but the value in that pick right now, and like if you're looking for guys that like might not happen for, but it could, that's a good pick. Especially with Ben Johnson and the weapons and offensive line acquisitions that they just had.
Yeah.
Quickly, I put Indianapolis as my number 8. They had several individual guys across stats or stat categories. Plus, you have Zaire Franklin, who's one of the scariest defenders in the league. Chargers at number 9. And I put Jets as number 10.
Okay.
Aaron Glenn coming in as their new head coach.
I like him.
Previous Lions defensive coordinator. And I don't mean to make so many Lions connections here, but, you know, like the NFL is weird. There's so many relationships, so many ties, right? Like Aaron Glenn knows so-and-so, Aaron Glenn knows, but like just look for that defense to really improve in New York. And the names of those guys, Sauce Gardner, right? You have, the list goes on. There's so many people for the Jets that could be they could just be just like the Eagles in terms of
tackle
defense.
Williams is
Yes,
enormous.
yes, Quentin Williams.
Yeah,
yes.
Quentin Williams. Unfortunately, I mean, just retired C.J. Mosley. See who can maybe step up and fill it up there.
The Lions just took one of their defensive backs too, who was their second guy behind Sauce Gardner.
Henry says Miami ? Is just maybe just a defense or just overall?
Well, they just got Micah Fitzpatrick in that trade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Miami's
like that.
defense has been. How have they been lately? When I was looking
Probably
at
middle of the pack. Not too much in terms of pass rush. I think they probably got to worry about their pass rush if anything. But
yeah, but I don't think Miami's
Ronnie
a bad pick.
Salako chiming in says, anyone want to do a diamond single? I threw that diamond single link down below earlier. So if anyone wants to join in, go up a little bit and you'll be able to click on that link. Otherwise, pretty much 4 to go in that mini double. I got 5 to go in a practice squad single. And then still pretty consistently there. Still 4 to go on that double box practice squad. So if you want to get into a Chase Wheelspin, guys, let's get that double and that single going.
Miami finished 10th in defense last year.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But, with a name like Jalen Ramsey departing your team, you don't know how much that's going to impact. It could impact them for the better. Who knows? But I felt like that way with the Lions. Like when they got rid of TJ Hawkinson, you notice?
Like a addition by subtraction type deal.
Like all of a sudden things just from that point on, they had all their success. So maybe there's just sometimes those pieces of the locker room that don't mesh well. Practice squad, man. We have Alvin Kamara still left, Luke Kuechly, Deshaun Jackson we were just talking about, and Fred Taylor. So Luke Kuechly's an authentic, and then Alvin Kamara's on that speed flex that you see there.
Alvin Kamara on the speed flex up in this top row right here. Luke Kuechly on that.
Well, Henry, for you, I'm going to add the Dolphins as one of my sleeper picks because I ain't mad at that. Finishing in the top 10 last year and, only really losing Ramsey, they could still be there.
Luke Kuechly on the Lunar right here. Secondary hits, like you mentioned, in the practice squad, Deshaun Jackson, Fred Taylor. But yeah, without a doubt.
So that's it. That covers our fantasy. What do you think of my lists there?
I like it. I like it for the most part.
Not too crazy.
I'm going to revisit. Let me revisit quickly the running backs because you had Gibbs at number 1. My question to you on that one just simply is, for all the reasons that you said earlier, explosive. You give him the ball, almost guaranteed probably just get 5 yards automatically. Do you think there's any sort of step back between with losing Ragnow, with losing that offensive line, with losing the coordinators? Does he stay? I still believe in the talent. That doesn't take away anything that he's capable to do. Just does that affect the team enough that affects his production?
No, I think it 100% does.
In which case, maybe do you jump Saquon up to 1?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think Jahmyr Gibbs for him too. Yeah, like you just said, you just hit the nail on the head with all the question marks. They have that Frank Radledge guy coming in, and I do wonder how they're going to kind of mix things up to fill that center slot. That was the rookie with the mullet. That was like the face of like crazy guys coming out of the draft this year. Did you see any of that wicked mullet?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Ragnow's replacement years later, right? So you have to wonder if Frank Ragnow's going to be kind of mentoring him, I'm sure, but their interior O-line it's been questionable since Jonah Jackson left, right? Like they had Zietler last year. Zietler departed. I think he's in Minnesota now. Like he went to an NFC or like Green Bay or something. So Jonah Jackson is now with the Bears on their O-line, right? That interior O-line now you went from having Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, Zietler, who's probably, a great guard in terms of like who's left in guards in the league now that Zach Martin's gone, but they have no interior line, no big names. Ragnow would have been their major name there. He's gone. You have guys like Frank Radledge, who's a rookie, and they have this guy, Christian Mahogany, who's like a Canadian that they got like 6th round last year. He was supposed to be a freak, but, I don't think he's really played last year. So maybe a couple games. You obviously have Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell is a freak.
Dog.
And Taylor Decker's not much younger than Frank Ragnow, so he's on his way out too. I have a lot of questions with the Lions O-line, but it's the NFL, man. These guys are professionals, and I'm counting on them finding the next Frank Ragnow to step in.
That's
right?
fair.
So
Bradley telling Henry, if you are an Eagles fan, Henry, he has tons of Eagles helmets and jerseys too, so let him know. Hit him up. Always nice, like I said, always good here in that UA break room, that community we got. Look nice and trades. Trade block is always open. Henry's again. I think I'm definitely gonna put up a few dollars on the Bears in Miami to make the play. Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. I gotta look at those odds. Gotta look at those for sure. I got a buddy who's not in he's not gonna sprinkle this whole house as he take out a loan to put it up on the sports book, but he might go with the Chiefs not to make the playoffs at plus 850, which again, you don't count them out until they're counted out for. Obviously, they've been to 3 straight Super Bowls for a reason.
Yeah.
But going to be playing a first place schedule. Still a little banged up from last year. I don't feel like they necessarily changed up or improved enough or really switched things up. But again, everyone said this last year, and boom, they were back in the Super Bowl, no problem. So
right.
I want to hesitate and bite my tongue on that end, but I mean, something's got to give.
They're like the Patriots of yesteryear.
Yeah, I mean, they've also played with all these extra playoff games. Like they played a full season and a half longer than any other team that's currently going on. So the miles are just piling up for this squad.
Cracks me up. Like them in Cincinnati always, I don't mean to phrase it this way, but they kind of seem to jerk around until end of the season, right? When they're like, all right, we got to start winning. And as a Lions fan who's never really
just like week 8 and be like, all right, guys, time to start trying.
Regular season success, like every week I'm like, please win. And like these guys are like, all right, we can only lose 2 more games. The fact that I was watching something with Joe Burrow, and he's like, look, we maybe got 1-2 more losses left. And I'm thinking like, bro, you can't think like that.
Yeah, that is not the mindset to have.
But I guess when you're that good and you can win at any moment, dude, him and Jamar Chase are something fierce too.
Oh,
like, that's a great combination. I'm glad to say that I was witness to, but the running backs, like the quarterbacks, James Cook, dude, is the one name I'm looking at on this list that James Cook and Bijan Robinson are the 2 certainties that I'm like, they're going to finish in the top 10, especially James Cook in Buffalo. He's a beast. That guy's a beast.
Oh, yeah.
He's young. He's like 24 too.
Yeah, he is.
With
Young
not
stud.
many miles on him.
No.
And he's a big boy too. He's like 6'2", 220. He's a big guy.
Yeah, the Bills have an underrated run game.
And they use it effectively.
Oh, yeah, big time. because you never know. Obviously, like I said, are we going to get a cannon of a pass from Josh Allen? Is he just going to tuck and run it himself, or are we going to get James Cook in there? So it's to play against the Bills in any sort of way. That's a tough one. You have to be on your toes on the defensive side.
Yeah, man. James Cook had just over 1,000 yards rushing last year on 207 carries, and like somebody to compare, very similar number. Joe Mixon had 7 more yards than he, 1,016 yards, right? He had 245 carries. That's 40 more carries roughly, right? That's 40 more 40 more car accidents to be in.
Yeah, essentially.
So there's not as many miles, and there's not as many highlights of James Cook, right?
Yeah.
So, like Josh Jacobs, he had 300 carries, 100 more carries, 1,300 yards. Still, that's 300 more yards, but 100 more carries, 100 more car accidents than James Cook. NFL's crazy, dude.
Oh yeah,
NFL's wild.
Peppered you guys with a couple of links. We got the minis are 4 to go. The practice squad single is 5 to go. The practice squad double is 4 to go. Henry saying, I have so many helmets, jerseys, footballs, and a collection of cards I've been trying to trim down, but definitely message me. There you go. That's just him getting back to Bradley. And then chime in as well. I love Allen's play style, but yeah, don't wait. Huh?
I love Allen's play style, but the style.
Oh, okay,
you don't stay around.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry. I was yeah. That
and they're lucky he's
that
big.
style play, yeah.
Because if you like have Baker Mayfield, who's just over 6 foot, doing the same stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's being polite. I think 6 foot with his cleats on, I'm sure.
Yeah, or Kyler Murray, who's my height.
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. If you're going to be playing that type of style, you got to...
That's what was so great about like Cam Newton, too.
That's exactly right. I was just about to say, you got to have the same body style of either Cam Newton or Josh Allen. Because...
Or do you remember like Jamarcus Russell? That was a bust. But can you imagine like having him QB sneak it? Guy weighs like 300 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Big boy. Let's see. What do we get closer to on there, folks?
With
Ooh, the
3
double
to
box.
go and a double for the practice squad.
Get that going. Get that double box broken into so you guys can get your name in there into that Chase Wheelspin twice.
We don't exactly have a reliable practice squad backup right now. Like so, the ones that are listed don't have the right graphic and names. So after this one.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and get into this, folks. Henry, you're good. Sorry, it's okay. My brain just sometimes doesn't want to brain, so I thought that was just me malfunctioning.
Sorry, Henry.
All good here. No need to apologize. There we go, folks. Like I mentioned, 3 to go in that double box, getting ever so closer.
Henry, we have Saquon helmets often. We just had one, I'm going to say a week ago. It was like in that Kelly green. Did we pull one last week, Nick?
We did. I think I'm pretty sure we had a,
dude.
I think it was just on a basic Eagle Speed Flex, but nevertheless, it's fantastic. Oh, it was on the chrome. Never mind. Nice little shiny chrome
just
one.
at the moment, we unfortunately don't have any Saquons. They've already been pulled. So more than likely we'll have one in the next, sooner than a week, I'm sure, because they've come through here like hotcakes, man. But and each one is just as unique as the one before it. So
what was available? The Saquon was in the diamonds. Was in the diamonds.
Here you go.
I'm looking at it right now. That was on an authentic, it looks like, too. So just like I said, he's a frequent flyer in here. He's kind of like forgot who was asking earlier for Lawrence Taylor. But yeah, again, gonna be in here pretty consistently. So just gotta time it up right. Make sure you're in here when a new break gets unveiled, gets broken into. I mean, it could be the same thing with the next set of diamonds. We're not entirely sure. So if we clear out these last 6 in here, including that Dwight Freeney, maybe we can see some Saquon Barkley or Lawrence Taylor or any other big name that we might be able to usually see in those diamonds, which are all authentic or better, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty good across the board, folks. Let me go ahead and show you guys the break page again, just to see. He says he couldn't log in quick enough. Yeah, that'll happen. Nice, you got a Taylor from. There we go. Nice, got a Taylor from us. Lawrence Taylor's the man. One of my favorite bits is an old Artie Lang bit with Lawrence Taylor.
I thought you were gonna say his bit from The Water Boy.
Oh no, I didn't know. But here we are, folks, in the jerseys right now. Quickly taking a look from top to bottom. Ray Lewis in here right now. We got Frank Gore, George Kittle, Hines Ward, Jordan Love. Oh, we already pulled that Maurice Jones-Drew. My apologies. Roger Craig, Mike Singletary, and Clinton Portis. All available here in the jersey section. Yeah, like I mentioned just earlier, Maurice Jones-Drew. That was the big pull of the 3 o'clock hour so far. That went to Mike Abdallah on that one. Nice. So looking good there in the jersey section. We got a double and a single in the jerseys. Over in that 4th of July. Looking at a couple of big names here. We got 6 headliners on 10 boxes. So we can hop on in there, have a 60% chance of hitting right there. Not only that, we're also looking for 3 more spots for that 1776 gift card, $1,776. A chance at one of those gift card. It's a big boy right there. That'll take care. A couple of breaks for you, a couple of quads. Get you back in that mood. There we go. But here we're looking at Bijan Robinson on the Speed Flex. We're looking for Aaron Donald on the Salute to Service Speed Flex down below. And then right next to him, the Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. This has been the helmet that we've been itching to look at. All sorts of different reasons. Alex, the Lions guy. Me, a big old blue guy. I love blue.
I think it's probably the best helmet in the room.
It could be, yeah, you could be right. Definitely could be right. Definitely up for debate for sure, and for some people. But all the way across the board looks fantastic. And then also looking for Ricky Williams, Tony Dorsett, and Dwight Freeney in that 4th of July section. All those names, and like I mentioned, still three spots for that $1,776 UA gift card. Down here we also got the Amon-Ra. A little closer look at that Amon-Ra. Fantastic, fantastic. Usually that sweet spot right in that center there, but put it on the side so you can display it just like that. Nice little profile view, side profile. Nice. Over here in the vault now. Still got 6 names here in the vault, along with 3 vault keys on 14 boxes. Those include the Dan Marino right there up top on that authentic. The dual sign Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. Usually you'd be happy enough to go home with just one, but bang, we got both on the same helmet at the same time. 2 Ravens legends, absolute beasts on the defensive side, all on the same authentic helmet right there. And then down below, Drew Brees. I mean, does anyone have a bad thing to say about Drew Brees? Like, it's just one of those. He just seems like one of those guys that just like took care of everything, nothing but polite. I'm sure there's the one waiter in New Orleans that got stiff that one time, so he probably isn't a fan of him. But
Right.
that probably isn't even the case.
But Drew Brees does not strike me as somebody that's ever done that.
Yeah,
He seems
exactly.
just
That's what I'm
stand-up
saying.
There's a Drew Brees book I'm really curious to crack open.
Oh, nice.
I forget what it's called, but it's about his whole, after San Diego, because he like blew his shoulder out or something out of his shoulder, and
Something like that, yeah.
everybody counted him out, and his whole the debate was whether he was going to end up with Miami or New Orleans, right? And the rest is history, but it seems to be a pretty good book.
Oh, yeah. Finally, also in that vault section, like we mentioned, Hines Ward, Tony Dorsett, and Josh Jacobs, all available in the vault, along with, like we mentioned, 3 vault keys, $200, $100, and $50, all available in the vault section. So different ways you can go get some UA cash back in your pocket. Hit up the vault. Hopefully you land on a vault key, hop into that 4th of July, get a chance potentially to go home with $1,776 on a gift card, or crack open into the Diamonds or the practice squad, you'll get into the Chase wheel spin on the day. So many different ways right now to go ahead and get yourself some UA cash back in your pocket. It's all up to you on what you want to do. Henry says, I need to make NAB the pride and joy of Mount Carmel. Bradley Williams, like I said, nice back and forth between the two. This is what we're here for, folks. Getting deals done. Getting her done. In the vault, talked about the jerseys, mentioned the practice squad already. Diamonds, like I mentioned, Dwight Freeney is our secondary not pictured headliner. Rest of the way, all good there. So like I said, 6 boxes. One of them has Dwight Freeney in it. So clear out this section. We'll get a brand new fresh set of diamonds on in here. 1 and 4. With a 70% chance at headliner, the 1 and 4. We're looking at the Mark Messier licensed jersey, as well as the Boston Celtics Kevin Garnett licensed jersey. Kyle Tucker on a Louisville Slugger on some lumber over in the baseball section. Secondary headliners include his teammate Dansby Swanson, still on the Cubs, former Brave. Filling out the rest of those secondary headliners includes Julius the Dr. Irving, Allen Iverson, and then Shane Doan, all in that can't miss 1 and 4 section. Like I mentioned, 70% chance at hitting a headliner that we have listed out. Said I need a big nab. He was in the practice squad. As of right now, he is not, but I think he was in that practice squad. Again, kind of another frequent flyer in here. We see Donovan McNabb in here from time to time on some Eagles gear. So definitely hop in when he's in here. That's definitely the good go-to. But sometimes if he's not listed, he has the chance to be a bonus banger from time to time. So it's just crazy how stacked up our series can get. That's just kind of the way it rolls sometimes. Hopping into the minis quickly as well. We got Jerome Bettis, Michael Irvin, Champ Bailey, probably the most unique piece currently in the break room. Magic Johnson on the Washington Commanders mini. Magic Johnson, the basketball player? Yes, indeed. Was not the quarterback for the Commanders at any point in time. No, he was the point guard for that LA Lakers squad. Like I said, in the front office now for the Commanders, taking over for Dan Snyder. It was Snyder. And there we go. So Magic Johnson on the Commanders mini, as well as Alvin Kamara, Eric Dickerson, Sam Laporta, all listed above. Secondary headliners include Fred Taylor and Frank Gore. So again, chalked up, bunch of great running backs in that minis section down below. I'll back up and I'll see we're still looking at 4 to go in the minis double, 5 to go in that practice squad single. Wide open in the 1 and 4. Let's hit that diamond. Otherwise, still 3 to go in that practice squad double as well. And all ready to go in those jerseys and 4th of July. I'll refresh again just to see if we're any closer again. But yeah, there it is, folks. That's what we're working with. Still got some time. Let's go ahead and break into the practice squad. Let's get a Chase wheel spin on the day. As of right now, like I said, that's one of our closer ones in total. Only thing we've done so far here in the 3 o'clock hours, a jersey break, and that was Maurice Jones-Drew going home to Mike Abdallah. So good stuff so far. Let's keep it going. Let's have the fun keep rolling. No, don't stop now, boys. Rockies take the lead over the White Sox 6-8 or 6-4, excuse me. Donovan McNabb is not in the practice. He's not in the practice squad. Our practice squad, like I mentioned, Alvin Kamara on the Speed Flex, Luke Kuechly, and then Deshaun Jackson and Fred Taylor as the listed headliners. I I don't want to say anything hoped up wise. I don't see him listed anywhere else, but of course, always the possibility for bonus bangers listed throughout. So be advised. Ooh, we got a rain delay for Cub game. Hopefully, it's not too bad outside right now. I feel a little old. I was about to say we were due for some rain. We were due for it. I feel like an old person with that one. Well, let's get it going, guys.
Let's do it.
Looking around the league, looking around the diamond. Red Sox took care of the Nationals. Braves lose to the Orioles 2-1. Phillies over the Reds. Let me see. Hold on a second. So you're saying he was in the special teams? Yeah. Again, it's just he was there. Was the key phrasing right there. So practice squad, like we mentioned, currently as it is, the available players, the available headliners, and just the amount of boxes that are left. We have 4 headliners on what should probably be 9 boxes left now, I believe. So yeah, like I said, the listed headliners we got: Alvin Kamara on the Speed Flex, Luke Kuechly on the Lunar Authentic, and then Deshaun Jackson and Fred Taylor. So again, yeah, Henry, he was in there, but got pulled earlier. And that was a nice little one right there. Was that a Speed Flex? This might have been a really just nice overall. That big nab was a Speed Flex. So no, you're good. Yeah. Always hoping. Worst we can say is no. But the best thing we can say is probably going to be in another series sometime soon. So always be on the lookout. Always be on the lookout. Like I said, pretty consistent with him, Saquon. Got a nice little influx of A.J. Browns throughout the season. Got a couple of Jalen Hurts throughout the season as well. So Eagles are well represented here in the UA break room. Our guy Cowan will probably be very happy for that. Eagles of old, Eagles of new. Obviously, our guy Mike Vick on a couple different squads, but for the most part, mostly see him on some Eagles gear. Exactly right. For the price, you cannot beat it here. If you're telling me you can potentially go home with a Ray Lewis and potentially a Ray Lewis and an Ed Reed dual sign for $100, if I'm lucky enough to get one spot, land that spot, and win it, $100 wins me an authentic of one. Yeah, I mean, we just pulled this up. We pulled it up last week when the Patrick Mahomes Vices authentic was still in here. We looked at a competing website, almost $4,000, and we had it in here for one spot for what?
$200.
$200, yeah, $200 a spot.
1 in 4, yep.
So if you were lucky enough to land that with one spot only, you got that for a 20th of a fraction of what they deemed it on our competing website. So it's all about it is. It's absolutely nuts. Exactly right, Henry. Crazy is the word. It's all about, and sometimes it's tough too when people are like, oh, how much is this worth, or how much is this guy worth? Like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder type deal. Right. Like, you go to again, being a White Sox fan, I'll tell you, like, an Adam Dunn signed bat probably isn't gonna do well if in like a regular general MLB market. You take that Adam Dunn signed bat to a White Sox convention, probably going to actually find some buyers, probably going to actually maybe even have a bidding war. So
no kidding.
It's all up to perspective. It's all up to that. It's all up to interpretation for that reason. So obviously the consistencies of, everyone's going to probably agree that like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is going to go for this. Tom Brady's going to go for this. But all different word. It's exactly right, Henry. It's worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. Exactly right. Exactly right. So that could be, again, that's up to you guys if it's in your personal collection, stuff like that. However you guys are able to deem fair trades. Obviously, the go-to here for the most part is, rep for rep, authentic for authentic, speed flex for speed flex. I've seen the 2 authentics for a speed flex type deal, so it's pretty consistent, pretty good in here. Creeping up on 4:40 Central Standard Time. I'm hoping we can push and really get in. Like I said, still close on that practice squad getting broken into. That would be the hope. That would be the goal. Is it now 3 to go? Nope, still 4 to go, I believe. 5 to go in that single box for the practice squad. Still 4 to go. Oh, no, I was right. 3 to go on that double box. Let's get that practice squad broken into, folks. Let's get a chase wheel spin for the 3 o'clock hour. Did not get one at the 12 o'clock. So let's switch that up. Hoping everyone's doing good across the board. 14 people I see on the YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook side of things. It's been pretty consistent day so far with the interaction. Hopefully we're all doing well. Like I said, on a lazy Sunday. Popping in. Only got about 9 of these Sundays when there's no games on. So either cherish them or just, like I said, just hang tight because you're almost there type deal. Only a couple more weeks until we get 7 hours of uninterrupted football. Starts right now. A little red zone action. I know we got the Hall of Fame game I think it's at the end of this month, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the end of this month because August 3rd or 4th is the induction ceremony. So, yeah, it's going to be the end of July. Absolutely bonkers. It'll get that started. Practices will be rolling in soon. And then before you know it, Hard Knocks gets started. We get the Hard Knocks Buffalo Bills during the preseason. During the season, it's going to be the NFC East, the entire NFC East. So I thought it'd be fun. Seeing how, let's just see the Giants try. Let's see how that's going to play out. See if the Dallas Cowboys can have a bounce back for, in my opinion, probably the most boring Hard Knocks of all time was their season a couple of years ago. So maybe they can bounce back and be somewhat interesting, other than just the power of friendship between Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you keep up with Hard Knocks, but that's all that one was.
Well, the only season I really tuned in was the Detroit season.
Fair enough. Which that one was really good.
It was good.
That one got that was Dan Campbell's rookie coaching year, yeah?
I think it was the second year.
Okay.
They really wanted him to do like a follow-up season. And I think a lot of the organizations would agree that the Hard Knocks cameras can be somewhat of a distraction. So
yeah.
Because the Bears were on it last year, right?
Bears were on it. They had that whole thing of they made it known, but it wasn't really like they made a big deal. But like, hey, the Bears, we're not swearing on our Hard Knocks. That's not happening. No siree, Bob. That's not happening. So that was kind of a little bit of a meme going on there. Obviously, the whole first episode basically follows around. Eberflus talks about the barber. Yeah, you call it the flus. Like, we gave him a haircut. Like, oh, jeez.
I wonder what he's doing.
Isn't he? I think he's doing not scouting necessarily, but he's in some office doing.
Look, man, any of those guys that coached at that high of a level,
they still get a connection.
They have their knowledge of football is so far beyond what we can even fathom. So they still have involvement in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Bottom line.
Like I said, it's basically it's probably like just short of being like a scout. That's something of that level.
My
like
college coach, John Cooper, God, I hope he's not listening, but he's got to be like close to 90 by now. I know that after his college coaching days, he was like what you were describing. He was some affiliate for the NFL, and he was like he would just scout like college players for the combine, and I'm not 100% sure what he would do, but he was doing something like that. So when you're that far along in your coaching career, it's pretty much all you know, I would assume. So yeah, he was an interesting cat, man.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Where'd you play college ball at?
Benedictine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you mentioned that. I'm sorry.
Brought me out here. I played football and lacrosse there.
Nice.
And lacrosse was still a club the first couple years I played, and then the last year I played, they made it a varsity sport.
Oh, nice. Sick.
No, it's legit. Benedictine's that's a good D3 school, man. We got to the last year I played, we played Mount Union in Ohio.
Oh, nice.
Which is, pretty close to the Hall of Fame there, which is in Canton.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to play Mount Union, and like before I even went to college to play football, when I thought of D3 football, the school I envisioned was Mount Union, bro. They're like historically known to be them, and like Wisconsin Whitewater typically battle it out, I think.
Oh, nice.
Now it's North Central though. In Naperville, North Central like I think they won a D3 national championship relatively recent. But then like Mount Union, when we played them, bro, they had season ticket holders. So their stadium was sold out. And in fact, I played against one dude he played in the NFL. He was like a safety or something, but he I don't know if he went undrafted, later draft, but Mount Union, like Pierre Garçon.
Oh yeah.
He played at Mount Union.
Yeah.
Yep. So Mount Union's a football factory, bro.
That's awesome.
Ohio in general.
Yeah, Ohio, it seems like Texas.
Southeastern Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, Sauce Gardner, Aiden Hutchinson, just
Florida.
two of the names from that particular chunk of Michigan. So, and then the list goes on.
Henry says, my cousin Jimmy, I'm gonna not go with that Gesundheit on the last name. Played for the Giants and then became a scout for the Eagles. So yeah, kind of that similar boat where you don't really necessarily leave the game. You just kind of adapt and just change how your insight is. So it's really, it is really awesome. I'm going to ask you this question. It's kind of a completely change of pace of what we were on, but this came up and I brought this up before on the radio shows and podcasts that I do and other fun jazz. As a Lions fan, I think this actually probably get some good insight from you on this one. Do you think that Dan Campbell would have been fired anywhere else with the decisions that he's made, with the coaching decisions, the risks that he's taken? I feel as though if he was, I don't know, maybe on like the Panthers or I don't know, the Jets, if he was the head coach there, he would have been canned forever ago. But it's maybe not a jab at the Lions, but just they really believe in him there.
I'm glad
or he just maybe just knows where the bodies are buried type deal. I don't know. So so what was your again? That was my thing. Anywhere else, I feel as though he would probably been cut for his decisions. But yeah,
man, I was hoping at some point somebody would ask me this question along the way, right? Like I love Dan Campbell, and I would never want another head coach for the Lions at this current moment, right? Like I just feel like he fits that. What that organization needs. Look at the success they're having.
Yeah.
It's unprecedented for that particular organization, right? But football smart, football IQ, and as football is explained to us as youngins, right? Like take care of the football. And, there is a sort of conservativeness that goes into playing the game of football.
Risk
if you want to
reward
win,
every
look
single
at
time,
Nick Saban and all these guys, they would all agree that there's a time to punt the football, right? And I can tell you what, when you're down one possession against the Buffalo Bills, right, and maybe one stop away from getting the ball back and scoring and taking the lead, you don't kick a freaking onside kick.
And that is always my go-to example with Dan Campbell. Is like that move right there, that sealed it for me a while ago.
There were two instances in the NFC Championship that they lost, and no knock at the player. Josh, I can't think of his name. Josh Reynolds was their third receiver in the rotation. He had two major drops in that NFC Championship on fourth down. And those were probably the drops that, no offense, Josh Reynolds, but lost them the game, right? Like there was another number of other things that ensued that led up to that point. They were also leading by 3 touchdowns. But Dan Campbell going for it in that case, like I don't have a problem with the 4th and 1, the 4th and 2, especially if you're in you're in scoring territory in the red zone. But like, and then if you turn it over, you know, you have a great defense, Aiden Hutchinson sack, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, I can kind of live with that. I like, some of the 4th down decisions have been questionable. Otherwise, but for the most part, if you are going it for it, and then as deep as you are in the position, that's also just a football decision, right?
I've been conflicted with exactly that question. Like, if I were in his position, would I be doing the same thing, right? Because like we've all played Madden. You know, I even coached flag football, right? Like youth flag football, way different, not at that level. But if you were trying to keep your job, like put food on the table for your family, right? Mm-hmm. 2, win football games, which is what it comes down. That's what they're all there for. And like, I don't know. I can't answer that question 100%, Nick. Like, I think, yes, he would be fired if he was anywhere else because he probably wouldn't have the same success, right? Because it's the Lions, because the team has bought into what he's feeding, right? Mm-hmm. That's why they continue to win games. Like, I also really agree with his calls in that NFC Championship because that's what got them there, aggressiveness. But you have to know when to use it and when to reserve it, right? Like, and again, the onside kick I can use as the example. There's 2-point conversions even, or like trick plays where it's like, bro, what WTF? What are we doing here? Yeah. Just like kick the field goal. If it's 0-0, go down and score the opening points, right? Like, don't get all cute and then like set yourself up for failure later and then having to talk yourself out of it. So Dan Campbell, I love the man. I love his coaching style, but I just wish he would really harness that, like the appropriate time to use that aggressiveness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think we might have to really pull back and look at the stats, but I feel as though sometimes his going for the risk has cost him more games that has won him more games.
Yeah.
And again, I could be wrong in that same breath where my interpretation of aggressiveness is different, where I see that like that onside kick, like that's a full on aggressive move. Going for it on 4th down every single time. Yeah, that after a certain while that kind of just becomes par for the course for them in some cases, but yeah, again, like it's the success very much, shows it right there. They were in the NFC Championship. They were right there, the best Lions team we've seen in 60 years. Yep. so it's clear as day. And then most importantly, the players will run through a brick wall for Dan Campbell. Yeah. They will do anything for that man. So it's a huge part right there too. So I'm kind of at both, where the riskiness, I guess, is maybe down, like brushed under the rug because he's won so much for a franchise that hasn't seen that success in a long time.
Yeah.
Doing phenomenal, and exactly right. Just a great motivational speaker at the very least.
I can't say that this season in particular, it cost them as significant as it maybe did the prior season, right? Like, because this year they lost 2 regular season games.
Yeah.
With the exception of that Bills, mishap, right? And sure, say what you will about that, but every coach is going to have a mishap in the season, right? That game they lost, it didn't really make a difference. They were still going to be the number 1 seed for the NFC, right? So, I still think that like he's got to really, you have to weigh, and you have to allow the other analysts that are in your ear giving you the stats and telling you what's smart to help make that decision. But then again, maybe that's where maybe there's numbers that point in the opposite direction that are telling you and I that we're wrong, right? So I don't know, man. Football's a really cool thing, right? It's
you're damn right.
And let alternate universe here. Let's say Dan Campbell this year, Dan Campbell's aggressiveness does come back to bite him in the ASS. Then that he's gonna at some point he's gonna be in the hot seat, right? So. Now that he has set the precedent of what the Lions organization expects from season to season, if they don't have that same regular season success, and because a lot of it's because of his gambles, dude, he's gonna have some answers to give, right?
I don't think if the Lions,
fall
back, I don't think he's gonna get fired this year. But this is definitely a prove it in the sense of your coordinators are gone. Prove it to me that you're more than just exactly what I said, more than just a motivational speaker, type deal. Like, are you a real head coach that can get it done?
Do you know who Mark D'Antonio is?
Yes. Why does that name sound familiar though? Is that
He was Michigan State's coach for a while, and I just want to make sure I'm talking about. I mean, I met the man. I better know who I'm talking about here, but he was Michigan State's head football coach for a while. And the reason I bring him up is because he was one of the most, this guy here, Mark D'Antonio, he brought Michigan State back from, I mean, they were, not a competing school in the Big Ten for a long time. In between, like, Drew Stanton was a great thing and stuff, but I'm a Michigan State fan. I grew up right next to Ann Arbor. That's like blast from me where I'm from. D'Antonio, dude, for power to the right, power to the left, maybe play action pass, and we're punting. He was the coach when they had that muffed punt in Michigan, and they ended up like recovering it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, and the Cobra was born. D'Antonio, his conservativeness was his success. Without his conservativeness, you don't have guys like Le'Veon Bell and some of the running backs that came from that offense. Kirk Cousins had the success he did because he was operating behind this conservative coach. I went to Michigan State camp when he was the head coach and met him. Genuine dude, just hands down a great guy. But that guy is the epitome of why you need to protect the football. And, the running game is extremely important in football. And why you see a shift in the NFL from remember, Patrick Mahomes even, they still run that spread heavy, we're gonna throw the crap out of the ball.
Yeah.
We see a shift now to where hey, we have two backs and we're going to run it down your throat until you can't stop us, which is why the Lions had so much success last year in the passing game too. And now with Frank Ragnow, are they going to have that same running success? I don't know, dude. So the Lions, there's a lot of question marks.
And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the passing yards came off play action. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yes, and if Dan Campbell's a great coach, none of what we're talking about will matter.
That's fair.
And he will
that's
figure out
right.
ways to win the game, and that's that. Just like Andy Reid and some of these other guys.
Yeah.
So
no, you can easily make this conversation obsolete by just going out there and having it again, just maybe a copy paste season. He's like, it don't matter. Ben Johnson, who type deal.
But and did spoil a lot of plays too. When you have to reach in your bag of tricks to do these cutesy things when it's not necessarily necessary. Football is about, I say this a lot, football is about deception. The game of football, making the other team think you're going to do one thing and do the other, right? So
lull you to sleep type deal.
if you're pulling out your best tricks early in the game or when it's not necessary, you're showing your cards too early, right?
Exactly right.
Don't ask me questions like that, Nick, and then we go on rants.
No, that was good. That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been throwing that around to a bunch of non-Alliance fans and haven't got that response because that's kind of the insight I've been looking for. So
I
glad to see glad to see I was at least on pace with something.
I don't want any coach or any athlete or anybody to let what we're saying or anybody say influence their decision making anyway. I mean, maybe I shouldn't as a coach at that level, they should listen to the fan base and stuff, but your coaching style is your coaching style. If you got to this point because you're aggressive, Dan Campbell, then hey, keep being aggressive until it bites you in the
that's fair.
What? So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Fair enough. And what it is over here on the UA break page, if I can get words out. Still 3 to go on that practice squad, folks. I'm willing to hold out a little bit, but I gotta see some more movement, some more traction, some more slots being taken up. Otherwise, we'll probably be hopping off sometime soon. Like I mentioned, we'll definitely hold out because there's 3 to go in that double box. I'll throw it down in the chat once more because I would hate to leave you guys basically on a cliffhanger with the practice squad being the Chase wheel spin. Like I mentioned, you guys can buy yourself some time. If I see a slot taken up, that'll be, give you an extra 5 minutes there. Get another slot, 5 more minutes, and then we'll hopefully close that out. But that would be the goal, folks. Close out this double box. We can definitely get into a Chase wheel spin. Hold off for the next, let's go another 5 or so minutes. We'll see how it goes, folks. So buy yourself some time by buying a slot, getting into that double box break. Let's get that broken into. Let's see if we can get that Alvin Kamara, the Luke Kuechly out of here. And like we mentioned, 4 headliners on 7 boxes in this practice squad. potentially a new series on the horizon, as well as, like we mentioned, clear out those diamonds, which is also part of the chase wheel spin. If you want to get a diamond broken into, we can. And like I mentioned, that'll be ever so closer to getting a fresh new set of diamonds on in here. What's left in the 4th of July? Got you right quick. That it would be the Amon-Ra St. Brown on that gorgeous, and I mean gorgeous, chrome speed flex. Let me show you the screen
Jared,
right here.
what's up, dude?
Got Aaron Donald on the salute to service speed flex for the LA Rams, and then this row right up here in the middle, we have the Bijan Robinson speed flex as well. And also secondary headliners include Tony Dorsett, Dwight Freeney, and Ricky Williams for that 4th of July. And then still 3 spots available for that $1,776 UA gift card. Little 1776 action. There's still 3 spots available for
about
that
the
gift
practice
card.
squad too, Nick.
Gotcha. Practice squad also looking good. Like we mentioned, 4 headliners on 7 boxes. We're looking for this Alvin Kamara speed flex up top. We have this Lunar Luke Kuechly. And then secondary headliners include Deshaun Jackson and Fred Taylor in that practice squad mixer.
Yeah, in terms of Jared, headliners to boxes left ratio, you asked about the 4th of July. I think that's a great one to get into.
Yep.
6 headliners, 10 boxes remaining, 60% chance there. Plus, we have 3 speed flexes amongst that mix. The Amon-Ra, I think, is probably the most stunning helmet in the room.
Oh, it has to be.
We also have the 1 and 4, which we haven't talked much about today because it's not necessarily 100% football related, but 10 boxes remaining, 7 headliners. What else do we have? As soon as we get that diamonds closed out, bud, which is only 6 boxes left, there'll be a brand new diamonds posted.
Fresh set, fresh 30
Which
set
we're
of diamonds.
eager to show you, so you never
be
know what's in that
fantastic.
new diamonds, bro. But Jared, hello to you. The 4th of July is definitely the one you want to get into because you'll get an opportunity to win that over $1,000, over $1,500 gift card. 1776.
Man.
It's the Founding Father gift card.
Obviously, also in the vault section, another way to get some cash back into your pocket. We have a $200, a $100, and a $50 UA gift card still in the vault, along with the helmet that you would win along with it. We got those, like I said, 6 headliners left in the vault, along with those 3 vault keys. Dan Marino up top. Ed Reed and Ray Lewis on a dual sign Ravens Authentic. And down below, Drew Brees on the Speed Flex. The black face mask with the black visor to complement all the other secondary colors in there. Love that.
Yeah, that's sweet. That's
well
another
as-
really cool helmet
Oh, yeah.
in the room.
Can't go wrong with the classic New Orleans Saints lid. Also available secondary headliners include Hines Ward, Tony Dorsett, and Josh Jacobs in that vault section.
2 to go on the double practice squad.
Okay, there we go. 2 to go in that practice squad. You guys got another spot. We'll get another 5 minutes to the clock. So we'll go till 5. Let's say 5:10. We'll say 5:10. We'll check in again and see what we're looking at. Like I said, I would hate to not close that out, to not have a chase wheel spin when we're right there. We're right there. Just put the ball across the goal line, folks. Looking good, and like I said, looking good in the practice squad. 2 to go in that double box. Jerseys are looking good. 1 and 4 has been pretty consistent as well. Mark Messier, Kevin Garnett on the threads, Kyle Tucker on a bat, Dansby Swanson, secondary headliner, as well as Allen Iverson, Julius Irvin, the Doctor, Dr. J, and then Shane Doan, all available in that 1 and 4. Diamonds, like I mentioned, we're just looking for Dwight Freeney. Clear out those last 6 diamonds onto a fresh set of diamonds. And then the minis down below, 4 to go in the minis. Henry says just purchased. There we go. Well, hopefully we can get that. I'll refresh and we'll see how many more slots we got left. Minis, like I said, looking good too. Jerome Bettis, Michael Irvin, Champ Bailey, Magic Johnson on a Commanders mini, Alvin Kamara, Eric Dickerson, Sam Laporta, and then Fred Taylor and Frank Gore, all there in those minis, folks. I want to scroll up. I want to see, 2 to go still in that double box practice squad. See that 2 turn into 1, turn into 0. Turn into that red sold out sign. That's going to be the goal, folks. That practice squad double is down to 2. Down to 2, and like I said, get you guys another 5 or so minutes on there to close it out. That'd be the goal. Get that double box broken into. Get your name in there twice, and we'll have a chase wheel spin. Let's get it done, folks. Let's get it done. That's what we're like I said. I'm just gonna leave the practice squad up on the screen just so you guys know what we're closest on / what we should be running for. It's Alvin Kamara Speed Flex, Luke Kuechly on the Lunar. There you go, Henry. That's what he says. That's what I grabbed. That's what's up. Getting in there. Like I said, we got an assignment, folks. If we want to attack it, if we want to get in there, you know what to do. Get into that practice squad double. Like I said, Luke Kuechly and Kamara, as well as Deshaun Jackson, Fred Taylor. Henry says, definitely worth it. Completely agree, my man. Worth it. 5-minute warning, though, folks. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna stay true to my word because you guys got to stay true to yours. I'll refresh. Let's see. Still 2 to go on that practice squad double. Now I hear the rain and oh yeah, it's whistling. No wonder that Cub game got delayed. That's okay. White Sox lose 6-4. Going for the sweep. Can't get them all. But already at 30 wins. They didn't get 30 wins until they were 30-101 on the record last year. So just slowly but surely getting a little bit better. The year of moral victories. Henry's saying, wake up. He's basically saying, wake up, chat. Let's get going. Let's get it going.
That's right. Henry's been
Wake up, wake up. No longer 9 a.m. We're in the 3 p.m. hour. It's already going on 5 p.m. here in the Central Standard Time.
Henry 16-1. Are you William Losi? I think you might be, because I just got an order from you. Double practice squad. We're down to 1.
Nice. There we go. 1 to go, folks. So we're going to hold out. We are going to get this one done for sure.
Oh, yeah.
1 to go. Who wants to close us out? And who wants to get that one, the closer magic? And then who wants to put everyone into the chase wheel spin, essentially? Be helping out a couple people and yourself along with it. So close that out. We'll have some fun. Let's crack open. Let's see these big names. And then we'll get everyone's name into a chase wheel spin. Looking good, looking good. All I'm going to keep doing is just hitting that little refresh and waiting to see that red sold out sign. That's all I'm waiting for. Let's see if we can get team shirts of just that red sold out sign. So we can make that like our new logo. 1 spot remaining in that double box practice squad, folks. Close it up. Close it out. We're peaking. We got the most people we've had all day across the board. We got 26 people, 26 heads across the board on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
1 more spot in that.
One more spot to go. Can one of the 26 get in there and crack open this practice squad double? As a chase wheel spin on the day, like we mentioned. Get some UA cash back into that pocket. Along with potentially going home with an Alvin Kamara Speed Flex or a Luke Kuechly Lunar. Can't go wrong either way.
Can't go wrong. Roughly $90-ish for a spot in the double, if I'm not mistaken.
96, correct.
So, come on.
Not too shabby. Again, if I can get 96 for a spot and go home with a Alvin Kamara, I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that. With a potential opportunity to double up, land something else, I'm cool. Again, I'm cool with that. Sounds good to me. I mean, for those wondering, it's the same division. So you landed that NFC South spot, you could go home with the Luke Kuechly and the Alvin Kamara. All it takes is one spot. One spot and one lucky little go around to get you in that randomization area. Sean Jackson, Fred Taylor, the secondary headliners there. Yeah, for 90. Hey, there we go.
Sold out.
Bang, bang, bang. Right at the buzzer as well. We were gonna, like I said, we were gonna hold out anyways, but that was the time I had mentioned, and sure enough, we're there. So practice squad, double box, number 9. Please drop 2 box numbers. If you are in that break, please drop 2 box numbers. Or a wheel suggestion. We can shout out the wheel. The wheel has been pretty nice to us all day. So if we don't, we can always go to the picker wheel that I had made for this practice squad. 4 and 21. That works. 4 and 21 coming off the board. Our man Jersey Slime. There we go. All righty. That's the case. Like I said, 4 and 21. I'll get that off our board. And then we'll go ahead and hit everyone. And we'll go around at 8 times. 8 times now for this 3 p.m. episode of the UA Break Page. 4 and 21 coming off the board. That leaves us again with, after this double box, we'll have 5 more boxes left after this. So way to be, folks. 4 and 21 coming up. And then we're going to have to go ahead, like I mentioned, grab everyone's name. We'll hit that list randomizer. We're going to go ahead and go around 8 times. 8 times, folks. Eight times around to determine our divisions. All righty. Frank, you're going to be in the NFC North. Charlie, in the NFC South. Joshua, NFC East. Timothy, the NFC West. AFC North. Oh, let me apologize. Let me show that to you guys a little bit better now. Let me restart. Frank, again, in the NFC North. Charlie in the NFC South. Joshua Cook in the NFC East. Timothy in the NFC West. Brian in the AFC North. William, you have the AFC South. Robert, you have the AFC East. And Joshua, back to you into the AFC West. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. Like I said, Charlie's currently sitting in that sweet spot for the potential Alvin Kamara / that was 4 and 21, please. 4 and 21. Potentially, like I said, Charlie in that sweet spot for the Luke Kuechly and or potentially the Alvin Kamara. Thank you. Very cool. Box number 4. Ready to roll. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. And like we mentioned, not only good luck here, but good luck when we do the chase wheel spin as well. We'll reassess the break room after this in just a little bit. We'll see if we're close enough to stick around for a little bit. Otherwise, cross some T's, dot some I's, and we'll get ready and get everyone set for 6 o'clock. Fun. Yeah. I said it's going to be, I guess, our enemies make us friends. What was it? Our
Frenemy or keep your enemies close. What is it?
something like
friend's
my
close enough.
enemy's enemy is now my friend type deal.
Something
so
like that.
you
Something
know,
like
our
that.
enemy is the Green Bay Packers, so might as well stick together. We got in the NFC North spot. That's gonna be Mark Chimera on the
very
Green Bay
cool.
Packers threads. Going to Frank. Makarov. Oh my goodness. Makarovich.
Makarovich,
yeah.
something like that.
My apologies for the butchering of the name, but not going to butcher the sense that you are the winner, my man. Congrats right there. On the Mark Chimura jersey. Rocking 89. Got the PSA cert down below. Lower there on the 9. So I guess
Very
just
cool.
like we did there. There we go.
The
Yep.
enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yep,
There you
exactly
go, Robert.
that. Robert got it.
My Bobby got it. Frank.
Nice hit right there.
We've had a lot of Packer hits today.
Yeah. We had two jerseys earlier on. I think they were both here in this episode. So, nice. That is one down, one to go in this practice squad. It's practice squad double. Quickly get you written up there, Frank. I'll get you on out of here. Nice dub, nice dub. Halfway there, halfway there. And that makes the headliner odds just that much better now. 4 in these last, 5? For sure, 5 boxes now. So, like seeing that. We'll see what pops up out of here. Like I said, guys, making sure we're sticking around for just a little bit later. 6 o'clock's going to roll around. We have some fresh faces. We'll be all set for the rest of the day. Box number 21. All set, ready to roll. Good luck, everybody. There we go. There we go. See what we're working with here. Looks like we got ourselves a little mini guy. So, still looking good for the Speed Flex still available. The Luke Kuechly still going to be available, and we'll see what see if this has got a bonus. See what these see what we're hitting right here. Ooh, yeah. Who was this? Who was asking earlier? That was Henry asking for our Eagles guys, right? Well, here we go. Here's another one right here. A little throwback, though. It's got to be Ron Jaworski. Jaws right there. And that little alternate,
Very
the flash
cool.
alternate for the Eagles mini right there. Christopher says, I received a helmet this week with no certificate of authenticity. How do I get...
I saw that. Christopher, there's probably a QR code on the back of your helmet. Our helmets they don't all have the JSA cert cards or whatever, but on the back of the helmet, there's usually a QR code that you can scan to ensure that it's yours. Or that it's in fact that player.
Yeah, similar to exactly that. The Beckett cert, you can scan that with the little QR code. Sometimes the JSA cert is in there, the actual card itself. Otherwise, it's exactly that. Sometimes it's just the sticker right here. So worst case scenario or best case scenario, if there's nothing like that on any part of the helmet, make sure you contact customer service. We will make sure we get that all figured out, and it'll be solved before you know it. So they're not currently customer service not in today. It's the weekend, but make sure you hit them out throughout the weekdays at all operating times. So should be good there. Ron Jaworski, my apologies if I didn't already mention NFC East hit. That's going to Joshua Cook. Big hit right there. Nice for the Cookster. So if I'm not mistaken, that leaves us with five boxes, 4 headliners. So
That's
an
right.
80% chance Yeah. Yes. 80% chance of hitting a headliner. Whew. Jaworski. Wow. Again, just love that. Love when the headliners are like, nope, not today. We're surviving. We're sticking to the end.
And we are one spot to go on a mini break,
Oh,
too.
nice. We'll stick around for that then. There we go.
Angie just got a spot. Eric Zafran got a 2 spots. So whoever wants to close that out.
Close out that mini, folks. We can stick around for a little bit. No problem there. Our hard out's going to be 5:45 because, like I said, that's usually enough time to flip us on over. Should be having our guys Steven and Ricky in here later on. That's been our consistent 6 o'clock crew as of late. So, yeah, hopefully 1 to go in that mini section. Yeah, I mean, 5 to go in that practice squad single. If anyone wants to hop in there, too, while we still can. Yeah, Rax, same thing. Yeah, Rax, same comment that we had. Just in case if there is that Beckett cert on the back, just like, well, this one is the Radke Sports. So similar cert. You would go to the website and type in the code that's up top up here. Otherwise, for the most part, Beckett has the cert that you can scan and you would see right away. Same thing with PSA. Similar, scan it. You have it right there. Otherwise, it pops up on the little card. So make sure you're scanning it. Make sure if there is a sticker. Otherwise, like I mentioned, if there's nothing at all, there definitely should be a certification. Because that's just how we roll here. But if there's nothing, no trace of a cert, be sure to contact customer service. We'll get that solved for you. Like you mentioned, we'll hold out for another mini if that's going to be on the horizon. There we go. Christopher says he found that QR code. There we go. Nice. Glad to hear that. Because like I said, last thing we want to do is hand you out something and it becomes a headache. So we want you to enjoy these helmets, not have to, wonder about its authenticity. So that's not our goal here. So glad you found it. That's the way to do it every single time. Like I said, we still 1 to go with that mini double, folks. Let's close that out. Closer magic. Like I said, same deal. Close out those minis. We'll go through those and we'll reassess. Hopefully, you got enough time. We will for sure do it, but hopefully, got enough time to maybe squeeze in one more. Maybe then we'll get the chase wheel spin because again, got that double box in there, so we got some names for sure. Maybe that's enough time to get those last 5 slots for that single. Who knows? I'm leaving it up to you guys. I believe in you guys. 1 spot to go, $52 for that spot. If you were wondering, Henry, that's what you were asking for how much for, but there you go. 1 to go in that mini double. That would for sure be our closest there on that there, folks. So 1 to go on that mini, 5 to go on those singles. Everything else is basically wide open. So we'll see what we're working with. Who's going to be our lucky little closer? Who's going to close us out? Closer magic. All that fun jazz. Oh, I never wrote out her. Let me write out Josh's little sticky note. That's the best spot. There we go. As he says, I'll take it. There we go. Hop on in there, Henry. Do it before someone else gets in there quicker than you. Yeah, Ron Jaworski, at least for a guy at my age, didn't see his work on the field, but always see him a ton on ESPN or pretty good chiming in with PTI every now and again. He would have the Jaws, like 5 good minutes with Jaws. So nice. Joshua Cook going in with Ron Jaworski. Good stuff. Practice squad's been cool. Practice squad's been nice. Chris says he's just bought that last spot. Should be good.
Okay, let's
I'm going to refresh. I'm going to see that red sold out sign. Sure enough.
Yep.
Bang, bang, bang. So let's get this in there. Mini double box. Number 6. Please drop 2 numbers. Henry says, no. And just like that guy from the Geico commercial, he goes, oh, gotta be quicker than that. Sorry, Henry. Gotta be quicker than that one.
I got you $1.
Yeah. I got you $1. I got you a Speed Flex.
I got you a Speed Flex.
If you want to drop those numbers down below, folks, minis are scrolling across. As of right now, we got 1, 4, 5, 6, 8 through 12, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 23, 25 through 27, and 29 and 30. So a decent amount of a decent amount of minis in here. So if anyone that is in that break would like to drop 2 box numbers or a wheel, we could do that. Charles coming in with 4 and 18. That works for me. Let's see if we got that. I'm pretty sure we do. Just listed those all out, and I went ahead and forgot right away. But yes, 4 and 18, all available. Looks good to me. Four and 18 coming off the board. Let me grab everyone's name, and we will go around 8 times. Show you guys what we're working with 8 times around. Yep, working with 4 and 18. All good there. Let me grab everyone's name. So Charlie, you're going to bookend us there. You're going to start us off in the NFC North. And like I said, bookend us in the AFC West. So Charlie, again, NFC North. Timothy, you have the NFC South. Angie, consistently putting together some wins earlier today. NFC East is yours, as well as the NFC West. Eric, you have the AFC North and the AFC South. Timothy, back to you in the AFC East. And Charlie rounding us out, like I said, bookending us in the AFC West. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Chris says, come on, 4 and 18. Let's go, 4 and 18. We got this. So there we have it, folks. I can grab it right here, actually, 4 and 18.
Sure. Thank you. Just trying to get this set up for you.
Please do always keeping us organized. That's the way to be. These are all over the place. There we go. Come on, 4 and 18. Nice. So here we go. 4 and 18. All ready to roll here in the mini section. Like I said, we'll see what we're going with here. And then we'll go ahead and do that chase wheel spin on the day. Unless we can still get that other practice squad single done as well. We might have enough time for that. Ooh, nice. Saw him earlier on a jersey. Another 88 to add to the Dallas Cowboys. It's Drew Pearson, baby. Nice on the minis helmet this time, this go around. Like I mentioned, saw him earlier on the jersey. Angie Nielsen going home with this one, the NFC East hit. Fantastic right there. Like we mentioned, JSA cert on the back end here. Like I mentioned, this, I kind of can't see it just because it fell forward, but here's the JSA cert on the inside. So like I mentioned to let me look at it really quick just to make sure. Yeah, our guy Chris, was it? Or yeah, Christopher. Earlier, he was wondering sometimes they don't have the JSA, like the actual cert card. But yeah, this one does. It's the JSA. Beckett sometimes usually has the QR code on the back. So there you go. Congrats. Again, Angie going home with that one. Nice hit. Drew Pearson.
And we did close out that practice squad single.
There we go. Another added more names to that practice squad chase. So that's awesome. There we go. Let me quickly get this written up so we can plow right through that as well. We still got another box here in this double box. Drew Pearson. Dallas Cowboy hit. Nice one right there. All righty. But not a headliner, though. Still add a nice little headliner to box ratio there. Box number 18, second box here in the minis. Good luck, everybody. Nice. What? How is he not even... That's crazy. See a guy like this, you would think at least a secondary headliner, but I guess here we go. This is what, like I said, such a tight-knit competition from the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be NaVorro Bowman on there on the mini right there. That's going to be an NFC West hit. Doubling up, not in the same division, but Angie Nielsen going home with this one as well.
There you go.
Nice way to be.
Angie.
Get 2 spots, 2 different divisions, 2 different wins right there, all in the same break. Angie Nielsen going home with Drew Pearson from the NFC East, and now in the NFC West spot, going from coast to coast, getting the dub for that NaVorro Bowman. And again, in my mind, should that at the very least be a bonus bang or a secondary headliner. There we go. NaVorro Bowman. Big hit. Nice hit. Can't go wrong on the classic Niners lid itself, whether it be mini or replica size. Beckett start on the back, so scan your smart device. Scan that QR code. Figure out when and where our guy NaVorro Bowman signed that. But again, Angie going home with that one too. Congrats. Still not done, folks. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. We'll get that practice squad single, and that should be probably rolling us into the chase wheel spin on the day. Well, like I said, we'll leave our options open, but cutting it close right now. Don't want too much turnover between us and the 6 o'clock crew. Nice hit there. NaVorro Bowman going to Angie. There we go, folks. Practice squad single. This will be practice squad number 8. Please drop a box number. Preferably if you are Charlie, William, Joshua, or Angie. Angie closed it out right there. Joshua says the wheel. And we will abide. We will abide. So you got our picker wheel. Let me make sure all of those numbers are correct, just in case they shouldn't have changed from the last time. But there we go. 2, 9, 17, 26, and 29. So 2 4s off the board. And then, what, 21 we already went through as well, I think. So it should be 2, 9, 17, 26, and 29. I believe that's what we got left. Yeah, 2, 9, 17, 26, 29. All right, cool. Just double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking. Here to the wheel. Let's spin around and around we go to figure out our practice squad number. All righty. Box number 26 coming off the board. Box number 26 going to be coming off of here. Get it off the ticker. And then let me take everyone's name. And we are going to go around. Oh, there we go. And we're going to go around 8 times. Grab everyone's name. Good luck, everybody. Like we mentioned, for the Luke Kuechly and that Alvin Kamara. You're going to want to be in that NFC South spot. 8 times around. So it looks like our gal, again, Angie Nielsen in a prime spot right here. Angie Nielsen is in the NFC South spot. However, also joining there. NFC North belongs to Joshua. Angie in that NFC South William in the NFC East. Joshua, you have the NFC West, AFC North, and the AFC South. William to you in the AFC East. And then Charlie rounding us out in the AFC West. Good luck, good luck, good luck. We're going to go ahead and do box number 26. Is practice squad right? It has to be that one right ahead of me. Yep. Practice squad number 26. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Like I said, at the very least, we're going to have everyone in there for that chase wheel spin, too, so ought to be fun. Oh, folks, this is crazy. This is insane. There we go. There we go. So, obviously, not a full size, so that Luke Kuechly and the Alvin Kamara still going to be safe. However, let's see if we're getting into anything else right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Still, however, a secondary headliner coming off the board. Bound to happen at an 80% hit rate. Going to be Fred Taylor on the mini right here on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nice one right there.
There we go.
Got the PIA cert on the back right here. And the JSA as well. All inside. Let me kind of flip it up so you can see. And then you can also see Fred Taylor's signature right on the crown of it, right on the top of that little mini helmet right there. Nice hit there. AFC South going to Joshua Cook. That's a nice hit for our man Fred Taylor. Going to a good home right there. Fred Taylor mini. Like I said, folks, that's one of the best parts of this little mixer we got here. It could be a jersey, maybe even a little mini helmet, a full-size authentic. That's what we provide here in that practice squad section. So now we got 4 boxes, 3 headliners, 75% chance of landing one of those bad boys. Creeping up with about 10 or so minutes, like I said, until our hard out. We'll see if we can get anything else done. If we're not close, we'll go ahead and hit that chase wheel spin. But should be good. So far it's been fun. Picking up towards the end. Love seeing that.
Right at the end.
Fred Taylor on the mini. Way to be, folks. So like I said, with that double that we ripped into just a little while ago, also had this single. We also, so at least maybe 24 names all wrapped up in that chase wheel spin. I'm going to go ahead and quickly, like I mentioned, take a quick other look at the break page once again, see if we're close, even worth holding off on anything. Wide open on everything. I see 6 to go in that diamond double still. That was from way earlier as well. But yeah, folks, there we go. Way to get your name into that chase wheel spin. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do right now. Chase wheel spin all set. All set. Looks good to me. Grab everyone's name. All 24 of them. We're going to copy. And we are going to paste into, come on, random.org. I am not a robot. You know I'm not a robot. Well, the breakers would say different, that I am the corporate robot, but.
So we just had, did you spin the chase wheel already?
I have not yet.
We just had somebody come in last second and bought out 8 spots in the practice squad single.
Okay.
Like literally as you were doing this.
Okay. Not a problem then.
So do you want to, we could probably, and it's Joshua Cook, so we can have his own break here. Let me get that set up. And then Joshua, just give me a second because that happened very quick. And then might have to do another chase wheel spin there.
Did not spin at all. You got me
literally.
Perfectly. Right as we were about to go with that. So Joshua, I'll just throw it out to you. What number do you want? We have 2, 9, 17, and 29 there, Joshua. Let me know what you're rocking with. I'm not gonna throw in the chat. Just there you go. What number of those 4? 2, 9, 17, and 29. All for you, my man. And like you mentioned, yes, we'll toss your name in there. So we're gonna have Joshua Cook in there 8 more times. Works for me. Like I said, Josh, let us know. Josh said I traded a Camaro Flex and regret it. Potential chance to land it again here, my man. So he's going to go with the wheel. He says wheel. Let's go ahead and do that. I got you. Got a picker wheel right here with the last 4 numbers. Round and round we go. Good luck, my man. Going to roll with box number 9. It's going to land on 9 officially. Coolio. That'll come off the board. That'll come off the ticker. That'll come off this little picker wheel as well.
I'll go grab that.
And again, no reason to spin you around. It's all you, my man. So you're going to get all the divisions all in one. So Joshua, you have the NFC. I'm just joking. Box number 9. You have the entire NFC North and the entire AFC. So, all you, my man. Box number 9 in Special Teams Practice Squad, number 9. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Like I mentioned, 75% chance of hitting between Alvin Kamara, Luke Kuechly, Deshaun Jackson, or that bonus banger lurking. So we'll see what we're working with. Good luck, my man. Hoo-wee. Hoo-wee. Let's see. Hoo-wee.
No way. No way that he just...
Well, again,
No way.
says I traded a Camaro Flex and I regret it.
No,
Well, my
did
man,
not.
let me go ahead and just short of refunding you on the Camaro. Here's another Camaro for you. Let's try again. Let's try again.
My boy.
Let's see if we won't get fooled again type deal. See if we're going to do a little a little Bob O'Reilly. Yeah, there you go, my man. Big hit right there for Joshua. That's one of our big boys. NFC South hit that is going to Joshua. Obviously cooked it up all the way through. Bang, bang, bang. He's going home
Bang, bang.
with that Alvin Kamara Speed Flex. Look gorgeous. And the star, like I said, who's out at Wrigley throwing that first pitch. I don't know if he's a big Cub fan. Maybe he's on his way to Chicago. That'd be fun. Congratulations. What a heck of a hit right there. Joshua Cook.
Probably the hit of the day, dude.
Oh, without a doubt. Oh, without a doubt.
Joshua, thank you for that.
Big hit on the day. Thank you for that. Getting
you called
yourself
your
a speed
shot,
flex.
dude. That's wild.
That too. Yeah.
That is wild. This break room is never short of surprises, bro. That was
Great.
wicked.
And yeah, exactly right, Josh. Great return right there. A speed flex on that right there. A great name. I'm going to argue I might be on that short end of potentially getting that Hall of Fame. We'll see. Especially for forever Hall of Fame in the fantasy football realm. That Christmas Day game is going to go down in history. But Alvin Kamara. Great hit right there. Exactly right. I'm with you. I love when a guy gets exactly what they're looking for. Nice, exactly right. You know it's going to go to a good home. Great, great hit. Joshua Cook going home with the Alvin Kamara Speed Flex. That's the way to do it, folks. We saw it before. I mentioned it before. How do you guarantee yourself a dub? Buying it out all the way like this, or obviously doing a personal, but can't get personals in that Speed Flex area. So this is the way to go. Way to be. Jeff August says I'll go $350 for it. There you go. You got to start somewhere. Worst you can say is no. But Alvin Kamara, like I said, going home to a good place right there. Way to be, folks. And a chance at some UA cash at 2. So we'll see how that works. I'll quickly refresh. Anybody on the verge of, like I said, buying out an entire break by themselves, speak now or forever hold your peace. With that being said, I see 8s and 7s and 6s almost creeping up on our time to, like I said, get on out of here in terms of the hard out. So just going to make sure we're all good. Cash wheel spin is ready to roll. So let's do so. Like I said, our guy Josh cooking it up on the bottom right there. Got those last. Adding an additional 32 total spots there. Let's go ahead and hit that randomizer. Put everyone's name in, and we're going to go ahead and go around 8 times. And whoever's at the top of our list Josh says no. Just back and forth with Jay August. Good stuff. Whoever's at the top of our list after 8 spins will be going home with some UA cash. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. 7 times around. So right now, Robert Boulay currently at the top. Let's see if our guy, potentially, Josh has a ton of names in there. We'll see if he can sneak one in there as well. Timothy and everybody else. Angie's had some big wins. Oh, I apologize. She isn't there. Solid. Frank in there as well. So good luck, everybody. One more spin to determine our chase wheel spin for the 3 p.m. hour. It's going to be Joshua Cook. So Joshua, quickly, you got a number in mind between 1 and 100 if you want to start there. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get you on that 1/100 spot area. And we'll go ahead and go from there. Obviously makes sense. Helps out a ton when you add your names, when you get that whole break spot to yourself. It's going to help you out mathematically there. So great opportunity there, Josh. Good stuff. He says start out at 11. That works for me. Starting off at 11. Nice little purple spot. Round and round we go. Good luck, Josh. Oh, that's a nice spin, too. I'll tell you what. It's going to be $82 going back to you, my man.
Joshua Cook.
Yep, Joshua Cook getting $82 back in the form of a UA gift card. So there you go. Comes in, says, you know what? I need a new Alvin Kamara. Closes out that last break. Gets the Alvin Kamara and gets $82 back into his pocket in the form of a UA gift card. That's a nice day. That's a nice 3 p.m. hour for our guy, Josh. Got a couple other wins in there as well. So way to be, everybody. Congratulations to everyone who's hit today, everyone who's got a dub, everyone that participated. Had some fun. Glad we had you here for some yucks, some laughs, some fantasy football talk. It's been great. Yes. Fantastic day. Alex, any other final thoughts, questions, concerns before we head on out of here?
No, Joshua, thank you for pulling that Alvin Kamara. It was the hit of the day. Nick, it was great spending my Sunday with you as always, man.
Absolutely.
And maybe we can do this again soon.
I hope so. This was fantastic.
Thank you to the customers, and hey, great day at UA, bro.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yep. So for everyone, we're going to be back just again in a little bit. New faces over here in the UA break room. Going to be rocking and rolling for the 6 p.m. show. Like I said, let's clean up. We'll get ready. And you guys are going to have some fun again in just a little bit here, back here again. So take care. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you back in just a little bit.